One of the most storied facilities in automobile racing. Welcome to the virtual Indianapolis Motor Speedway for round number 4 of the Full Pedal Jacket Intimidator Cup Series. Tonight sponsored especially by D&D Plumbing and brought to you always by JCB Excavation Incorporated and our friend Supreme 8. So welcome in everybody. This camera setting in on practice here, about 10 minutes to go until practice comes to an end. 120 laps coming your way tonight from Indianapolis. Going to be our biggest field of the night. Wow. Our first subscriber, Golden Girl Panda. Thank you so much. With us hitting Twitch affiliate here just excuse me, just last night. It's a big accomplishment for us, and it's gonna lead to a lot of good opportunities as we move on. So we saw qualifying last night. We got a bunch of guys here that did not take the grid last night. So it'll be interesting to see how they run the track. Should be our biggest field, like I was saying. We're running right around 25 cars right now that will start the race. Here with 120 laps. We are stage racing again, as per the usual. 30, 30, and 60 will be our stages tonight. And fuel strategy will be key, especially in a green flag run. It's going to mean a lot to save tires, save gas, see what you can do on a long run. So 8 minutes, well, a little under 9 minutes left until we get onto the grid. And obviously I'll try to go through the grid. Long racetrack, so I should be able to get through the whole grid, and we'll see once we actually get to that point. Now, though, we're going to get a quick word with at least one of our drivers tonight, maybe two. It looks like it's going to be two, so we'll try to get through this here. Driver I'm going to get a word with is actually tonight's pole sitter. Saw him qualify with a really solid lap last night, sitting fourth in practice right now. It's Mr. Adrian Piedro. We saw him run really, really well last week, especially in the long run. Didn't pan out for him finishing result-wise, but he got a solid finish. He's looking to back it up this week. He's got a lot of speed, so we're going to get a quick word in with him here before the race begins. Hey, Adrian, it's the broadcast booth. You got me?
10-4.
Well, it's our first time hearing from you after a strong showing last week. You're on the pole for tonight's race, and you've got some speed. So, kind of take us through it. What are you aiming to do tonight?
I'm just aiming to get my new team, Rowdy Ross Racing, their first win. It's a good weekend for us, for our whole team, and car is really fast. On the short run, it's a little loose, but it feels pretty good overall.
Yeah, and we definitely saw that speed last night. And we got a long race ahead, and it's obviously going to involve a lot of strategy. But we saw you use the long run to your advantage last week at Charlotte. So, is it the same way this week, where you're more confident as the run goes on, or are you going to kind of just have to adjust to the racetrack?
I'm a lot more confident on the long run because some of these guys try to put as fast of a first run as they can to try and make up some time. But, I kind of lay back for a bit, and I'm not as aggressive on the throttle, and I really shine on the long run.
Yeah, we definitely saw it last week, and it's going to be exciting to try to watch you weave through the field again tonight. And we are hoping for the best for you. Best of luck to you and your entire team, and go put on a show for us.
10-4, thank you.
As Adrian Piedro, he's going to start from the front of the field tonight on the pole. Second guy we'll get to is Clint McGill of Team Fist Racing. We've heard from him a lot this year, and we'll see what he's got to say before tonight's race. On him real quickly here. There he is. Hey, Clint, it's the broadcast booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, we're back for another week this week. You've run pretty decently well so far this week, so what are your expectations for yourself tonight?
It's my hometown, Indy. Born and raised in Indiana, so really want to go out there and get a win tonight. So that's kind of my expectation. That's what I'm shooting for.
Oh, well, definitely good to hear the enthusiasm out of you. We kind of talked to Adrian about this just a second ago. Are you a little bit more confident as the run goes on, or are you going to try to rely on shorter runs to make up time and get to the front?
I think we're going to try and go Shorter runs. I just want to kind of like play it easy. I mean, we got 120 laps here at Indianapolis, so just going to kind of play it out and start pushing when we need to. You know, take positions as we can. Starting from 12th, so we got a little bit of work ahead of us. So I just really want to, kind of play by ear and see how things go. Obviously, it's NASCAR, so there's going to be cautions, and we're just going to try and take advantage of those.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, we wish you and your whole team, Team Fist, the best of luck tonight, and go out there and put on a show for us.
All right, thanks, sir.
That was Clint McGill, driver of the 19. Some enthusiasm from the two guys we got tonight. It's always good to hear. A lot of these guys kind of on the same page, looking to make either a good first impression in their first start or dig out of a hole in the point standings or just continue their solid start to the season. So lots of different storylines to watch tonight as we go. Points leader coming in tonight, I mentioned it last night, but if you weren't able to join us or if you didn't catch it, it's Tyler Bentley. He's going to be starting, I believe, around the 5th or 6th position, if I remember correctly. So he's got a little bit of work ahead of him to get to the front, but another solid qualifying run for him. And he hopes to build on that momentum. The guy who took the points lead from Jack Camella, not exactly the week he's wanted to this point. He doesn't seem to have the long-run speed that he wants. And he was kind of talking to me about it earlier this week, where he kind of didn't get the qualifying run he wanted to last night. He's got a lot of work ahead of him to get to the front of the field. And he's going to do his best, but he's wanting the points lead back from Tyler, and it's going to take a little bit of work for him tonight. Other guys near the top of the points are guys near the top of the leaderboard. That's Zach Lima and Steve Korsak. They are in the top 5 in points, and they are they're looking to get it done tonight, both with a lot of speed as per usual, especially Zach Lima. He's got an incredible amount of speed at Indy, so expect him to run up front all night long. So we already talked about Adrian Pietro trying to dig out of a bit of a hole from starting the season a little bit late. With the speed he showed last week and the speed he has shown this week, I definitely think he's going to be able to dig out of that hole pretty quickly. EJ Roberts up near the top of the board as well. Jacob Hopp in his first start. He's 3rd on the board in practice right now. Starting up near the front of the field. There's tons of different stories we're going to be keeping an eye on tonight. With just over 2.5 minutes to go until we get on the grid. I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm going to probably have to clear my throat a lot tonight. My voice is kind of failing me. We're going to get through it. Just over 2 minutes until we get on the grid here. It's okay. Just let me know when we're back. Well, just under 2 minutes to go. Guys kind of getting their last minute practice efforts in, I should say. Only a few guys left on track here. A lot of guys have kind of just really tuned out, but just decided they're going to resign it to the race.
Yeah, a lot of guys put in a lot of practice here this week. We had more than one practice session go up, so a couple of guys showed up for both of those. We had some guys practicing pit strategy, had a couple of guys practicing long run speed, short run speed, tire wear, stuff like that already. So this is pretty much just a warm up to go out, feel how the track is with the current settings, see how it feels underneath this overcast weather, and try to lay down some rubber and maybe figure out which line they want to run for a long run here if it gets to that, especially coming into these later stages. I know a lot of these guys are going to be looking ahead, maybe not to the first few stages, but maybe to that last stage, try to pick up a win here and lock themselves into the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely another thing to know. We've had 3 different winners in 3 different races, so see if the trend continues tonight if we get our first repeat winner, although our other 3 winners, Colin Bauer, Zach Camella, and I'm already blanking on who won last week. Justin Kane, which is ironic because he's on my team.
Forgetting about your own members, huh?
Well, I'm trying my best here. It's qualifying-wise, not really near the front. Okay, so we don't know what their race pace is quite yet. Here's out in practice. We're going to get on the grid. And I was talking about guys maybe trying to get the points lead back. Well, maybe a little bit easier for him if points leader does not get back in. He has lost connection.
Oh, no.
So a little bit of a disadvantage if he can't get back on the grid by the time we roll off here. Still got about 2 minutes on the grid, so see if he has enough time to get back in.
Yeah, luckily he's got plenty of time to get back in here, although it could be a strategy. We heard a couple of guys talking about maybe starting from the pits.
Maybe, we'll see. Obviously, kind of a bold strategy to do that.
It's hard telling with some of these guys. A lot of different strategies coming out here. Tyler does have the lead, though, so he's got more of a benefit to stay in this thing for the long run than to try to blow through everybody and stay up front the whole time, burn up his stuff, and not really run a clean race.
Well, we already talked a lot about the pole sitter, Pietro. You obviously heard from him here before the race started. Outside of him, this guy we talked a lot about already this season, that's Zachary Lima. Second row, Jacob Hopp. We talked about him a little bit in his first start here in Full Pedal Jacket. And outside of him, you saw him roll off. That's Zach Lima's teammate, Steve Korsek, starting on the outside of row number 2. Row 3 is going to consist of Matthew Fleming and what was supposed to be Tyler Bentley. He has not made it back onto the grid. So it will now be Brady Shue starting in the 6th position. We're going to kind of wait for these guys to catch up here off turn 2. Oh, now Tyler is reconnected, so he'll have to start from the pit. He has reconnected in time. He may not lose a lap because of it. Starting 7th. It is a 013 Team Fist Racing entry of Michael Lanfear. Outside of him is TJ Roberts in the number 3. Get you some Motorsports Chevrolet. Next row back is going to be DJ Thomas in the 20 and Marcus Miller in the 34. And get to him because they're moving around. Behind them is Clint McGill and the 13 of Logan Ikra. Next up, Nathan Bentley in the 6 out of Bentley Motorsports and Paul Ferdiani in the 66. Next row behind them, these guys are kind of spread out a little bit. We got Griffin Williams. Outside him, I think, is Ron Holmes, but I'm not 100% sure.
Should be Ron Holmes, yes.
Well, he's back here. So then the next row technically would be Bentley Motorsports teammates Ron Holmes and Zach Comella. And then back here near the tail of the field, Justin Kane, Jonathan Hammond, Jeff Meaden, John Gallagher, and Mason Hausman. So that is pretty much your whole starting grid. As far as missing the grid, Derek Preston, Jessica Bellio, and Tyler Bentley. I believe Colin Bauer, but I'm not 100% sure. I do not see him.
Looking at my track map here, he is starting way off behind the field here. So
I don't blame him. Green flag. We're racing in Indianapolis. It's a good start, really, for both lines. The outside's got a bit of a push into turn 1. We'll see if it helps them at all. Off through 1, headed down towards 2, and spinning is Marcus Miller. Wow, what a save. He's stuck now on the bottom, though. And he holds onto the car. Wow, good save there by Marcus.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are going to have trouble here with the aero tight. Now, the new aero package, if you're racing in traffic, you're going to really drift up the track or get real loose depending on which quarter panel these guys are on.
Battle's still on for the race lead for the time being. It's still Piedra and Lima going at it. They come through turn 4 to complete lap number 1. Who's going to get the drive off the corner? Wow, drag race. Dead even. Piedra trying to side draft a little bit, but it's going to be Lima carrying the speed off for. He's going to end up coming down to lead lap 1, and his teammates trying to follow him. Adra dives it back in on the inside of the racetrack. He's going to hold on to second for now, so that's how we will stay on lap number 2. Piedra files in P2, Korosek in P3. Jacob Hopp watches on from P4. And Matt Fleming is P5.
It's about what we expected from these guys early. A lot of patience going to come into this track. It is a super speedway, as much of an unorthodox one as what it is. Saving your stuff for the end of the race and really finding someone to work with and help you through the straights, especially that front straight. You got the wind helping you. You got another guy on your bumper pushing you. Could get you around a couple guys.
Battles back here. And, Griffin in the wall hard. Oh, my. Well, lots of big contact there. As Paul Ferdiani got in the back of him, Griffin was loose there. So, a tough break early. Some damage on both of those machines. Looks like some damage maybe on the 50. Saw the 34 spin a little bit earlier.
And luckily for them, they've got those 2 fast repairs. Depending on how much damage, I would say if I'm one of these guys, I'm holding off on it and taking some optional repairs at the first either caution or pit stop that we have. Wow, I really stuttered on that one.
We're doing our best here. We're doing our best. So still, Emma Piedra and Korosek out front of the field. Field is mostly single file now. At least not what I expected. Well, right as I say that, they are getting a little bit crazy back here around Nathan Bentley. Dustin Kane didn't qualify, and he's made up some ground here early on. They got a pretty fast race car.
Yeah, we know we know he's a fast driver here. Starting in the back's gonna really hamper him, but he's making short work of some of these guys in between him and this front pack.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do here. He started well towards the back of the field. And it's dropped the most, I think, is DJ Thomas. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it's DJ. I'm running back there right around Griffin Williams in the 0-2. Back up front now. Still, Lima out front. Piedra kind of keeping him honest here. He's back to within about a car length of the 78. Or of the 5, excuse me.
This right here is going to be the lap where tire wear is going to really start to kick in on these cars. We're going to see who's got the long run speed and who's got the short run speed.
We saw last week that Piedra, once the tires started to go, found, I don't know what he found, whether it was the line he was running or whether it was some kind of throttle pattern that he was running, but he was really able to take off on the long run. You heard him talking about it. He was really prepared for the long run tonight, and you can already see, I mean, he's already right up to the back bumper of the 5. See if he looks for the race lead here, headed for turn 1. Already 5 laps down. 25 to the end of stage 1.
Notice Piedra's taking a little bit of a more inside line there on the corner entry than what Lima is. I wonder if that's just because he's got more grip than Lima, or if Lima's trying to maybe make up for some burnt up tires he used getting around him there, running a little bit higher, a little bit slower.
So maybe trying to take away some air off the front of the 78. You were talking about the aero push on corner entry. Going to make it hard for Piedra to stick turns, well, really every corner, but mostly turns 1 and 3, which is where you pick up most of your momentum trying to make a pass. Maybe taking some air off the 78, playing some strategy. Front 2, still the same. Front 3, actually, front 4 is still the same. Not much change up front, really. TJ Roberts is 7th now. Started 10th. Biggest mover to this point is, I believe, Mason Hausman up 12 spots to 13th.
Yeah, Mason's a guy we don't expect to be in it for the long run. We know he likes to run fast, and running up the tires is his ordeal there. Kind of deals with the cars as they come to him.
Austin Kane, the other biggest mover, he's up 8 spots since the beginning of the race. The guy up 8 spots is John Gallagher, up 23rd to 15th. As well as Jeff Meaden, up 24th to 16th.
Yeah, a lot of fast guys here, unable to make qualifying starting in the back of this field. really showing off what they can do here.
Back up front, not much change. In fact, Lima started to pull away just a little bit. Not much, but
About a
he
half
has
a
pulled
second
away
here.
a tad. Yeah. Not much doing here at the front of the field as of right now. Really, these guys have gotten a lot spread out too. Brady Shoe's actually under fire for P7 from Michael Lanfear. Team Fist 013 underneath the 9. He's going to take the spot. But he tries to cross him over. Not going to work. Send Lanfear to P7. Here's another battle on track. Clint McGill under fire from the Bentley Motorsports machine of Zach Camella, who's made up some ground early. Kind of side drafting it right on the quarter panel. It's something you can do now. And you can tell he slowed the 19 down a ton into turn 1. And takes the spot as, whoa, Logan Eaker up the hill. Trying to make the pass on McGill. Couldn't do it. Camella move him to P9. We're there in 11th. Solid run for him so far, showing some early speed. Justin Kane, by the way, is up to 12th. He is on the move right now. Hausman as well. He's 13th. Jonathan Hammond is 14th. He's up 5 spots since the start of the race. There's Gallagher. He's 15th. And then you got a hornet's nest back here around Marcus Miller and Jeff Meaden. That's where you find Colin Bauer and Tyler Bentley.
We know
Trying to work
Colin's
their way through the field.
You know, Colin and Tyler here definitely want to get out into some open air. They're guys that don't really enjoy racing around other people. See, believe that was Jeff Meaden dive into the pits there. It was. A couple of people pitting a little bit early here, maybe for some damage.
Maybe some varying pit strategy tonight. It's going to put a lot of guys off cycle. It's not going to be where we're in a window necessarily. It's going to be really when a guy decides to pit for tires. Fuel can go about 25 laps. So anytime between really now and probably lap 25 is when you're going to see guys pitting. So a really wide window.
Yeah, during the practice, we saw a lot of people cutting this stage in half, coming in around lap 14 to lap 16, getting fresh tires, putting fuel in it, making it to the end of the stage on maybe a faster car than if you're staying out there the whole time.
That was a 23 of Jessica Bellio. Slow, may have hit the wall. Yeah, there's some serious damage on that machine. Gonna try to labor it around on the apron here. Hopefully.
It's unfortunate to have that happen to you, but we've seen other guys do it. Griffin Williams being one of them, coming home with a torn up race car, but gaining some points kept him up in the top 10. So it's very possible to just
battles
labor it
on
around.
for position number 5. Well, it was between Matt Fleming and TJ Roberts. That battle's starting to heat up just a little bit as Roberts picks up some long run speed. And Fear is 7th, maybe catching these guys a little bit. Is pulled away from Brady Shoe in 8th. Brady now starting to get reeled in by his teammate Zach Camella looking for P8.
Camella's gained a lot of spots here. I know he's putting in a lot of laps here, practicing this track since he had a pretty bad qualifying run, and it looks like it's paying off for him. His race pace is a lot better than what his qualifying pace seemed to be.
Well, his qualifying pace involved the outside wall, so I mean...
Anything other than the
ideally-
outside wall is better.
Ideally, your race pace would not involve the outside wall. You see him running well, though, inside the top 10. Trying to get his points lead back. Wow, Brady ran really high. I don't think that's going to work out for him. Maybe letting his teammate by here. And so, move Camella to P8. He's on the move. And so are these two back here. Kane and Hausman continue to work their way through the field. They are 10th and 11th now. Jonathan Hammond as well. He's up 7. Gallagher now up 10. Ikra right back to where he started, but still showing some early speed.
Icarus kind of had a waning car today. He comes in strong and then it kind of falls off, so maybe
Whoa! Bauer's got to go around the high side. As McGill was really slow there through turn 2. I don't know. He may have clipped the wall. Maybe coming to pit road. We'll see. Well, Bauer and Bentley are on the move. TJ Thomas on the move as well, it seems like. We head back up to the front. Lima's cruising. Yes. Oh, did he clip the wall right there? He may have.
He may have. Around here is where we saw him in the practices so far. It's been his strategy to come in within the next 2 laps. So we'll see if he holds true to it here or if he's going to try to run it off a little bit longer.
Not going to see too many guys unless you pit really early or have early damage. You're not going to see a lot of guys go a lap down under green. It's just not something that's a long racetrack, and the stages, at least the first 2, just don't really have enough laps in them for a guy to go a lap down. So we'll see how that works out.
I do believe Clint McGill has entered the pit lane. I see him taking his stop right now.
TJ Roberts has taken 5th from Matt Fleming. He's on the move right now. 5 spots from his starting spot of P10.
Looks to be another race for him like we've seen him do week after week. Start off maybe a little bit slower, and then as the runs go on, he just seems to find speed on the track.
Well, he's got speed right now. He's reeling in the 32 for P4. Jacob Hopp. We'll see. Oh, maybe some guys getting ready to come to pit road here. It's going to split the stage directly in half. See who all comes. Piedra coming in. Jacob Hopp coming in. I believe I heard Brady Shue pitting as well. Michael Lanfear pits. Nathan Bentley is pitting. Zach Camella is pitting. So pit stops have begun. John Holmes coming in this time by.
It's going to be interesting here to see, will Lima and Steve go around a couple more times? We've seen that maybe be a deal breaker for some of these guys. Stay out too long and then you end up getting caught up. Or are they going to just cut it here and say, hey, we got our extra lap, come in, pit now, have 1 lap fresher tires, and that'll be it. Looks like they're just going to keep trucking.
Well, so they're going to put most everybody a lap down here. The problem is they're running considerably slower than everybody else will be. At least in the corners. I mean, you're losing lap times. I mean, he was running a consistent 52.3. Guys on new tires, assuming they're not in traffic, are going to be right around the 50-second mark. So you're going to lose some serious time by staying out, but see if it works out for him in the long run. The car that would worry me the most is the car you see up there at the top of your screen going into turn 3 right now. That's Piedra. You're going to lose some serious time to Piedra here on the cycle of pit stops. We'll see if he can get back around and cycle through the lead, but
yeah, Piedra managing to get out on the lead lap is really beneficial to him.
Here comes the leader. Emma Corsex coming with him. Top 2 pit. Michael Lanfear does not, but I think he's a lap down. I don't know who the first car to not pit is. I think it's TJ Roberts. It is. Well, Roberts to the race lead. 12 to go in stage number 1. 13 to go, sorry. You can tell between the 3 and the 4. Kind of gives you a visualization of just how big the gap is on old tires. That's why I was so worried about Piedra, although I'm pretty sure the 5 and the 27 have left pit road.
They are still on pit road.
Oh, they're not. Piedra's going to pass them.
Yeah, he is definitely going to get out in front of them there. They're
Oh,
just
not
now
quite.
leaving. Now the speed difference, you can kind of cut it down here. It's going to come down to, I think, new tires versus old tires, if they can get back ahead of them here or not.
Oh, 3 wide back here right around Matt Fleming. Also has not pit, by the way.
We saw Matt stretch his fuel out in the practice race to 24 coming to 25 laps, so it proved to be beneficial for him now that he knows where the cutoff is. I'd be surprised to see how long he's wanting to run this thing. Maybe not setting himself up for the first stage, but setting him up for the last stage, go for the win here on pit strategy.
Piedra has passed the 5. So whenever the cycle ends, the new leader should be Adrian Piedra. See, we'll go back up to Roberts. He's in 4. Slowing down a lot. We'll see if he pits right here. It looks like he's going to. Yep. Roberts coming to pit road. Fleming does not. So new leader, Matthew Fleming. With 11 to go in stage 1. So Roberts still technically second. I think Gallagher actually is going to take that spot from him now. I'm not sure if he is hit yet. I don't think so.
Fleming does have his teammate behind him here. I'm not sure if he'll let him go or if maybe he's going to have Clint push him. It does look like he's going to maybe let him go. I'm not 100% sure what their strategy is here. But if I'm Matthew and I'm wanting to stretch this, I'll say, hey, Clint, get out in front of me and maybe lift a little bit. Tow me along.
Yeah, it's the difference in the tires is so profound. You just can't really hold it. And I think he's pitting in. And he is. Leader coming to pit road, Matt Fleming. Okay, so we'll jump back here to John Gallagher. He stays out. So Gallagher to the race lead. So he'll lead a lap right here as he passes the 88. That'll pass second to Colin Bauer, who's closing in quick. Colin's 2 seconds back. Tyler Bentley's behind him.
So out of all these guys up here, we have Gallagher, Bauer, Bentley, and DJ Thomas. All have yet to pit, so we're going to see just how far the guys are willing to stretch it here, I think, because a lot of these guys are out here in open air. It does make you faster, but it does burn up your fuel a little bit more.
And the good thing is you're able to not really have the pressure of somebody behind you. You can really lift and save as much as possible. Gallagher foregoes pit road again. And you see it. Look at the 50. He's pulling down into the draft of the 13, trying to save some fuel and tow off of him. So we'll see if it works out for him here. Colin's closing the gap. He's cut off almost half a second there.
Yeah, you can hear him really winding it down in the middle of the corners,
Oh,
letting
yeah.
off.
What it's worth, the 5 has passed the 78. Are still right together, battling for 5th right now, but what would be presumably the stage win. So next time by to be 8 to go in stage 1, and now Gallagher falls into the stage. Leader now, Colin Bauer. With Bentley to second. And I'm pretty sure DJ Thomas fit as well.
Yeah, that moves Lima into 3rd. Now these guys have about an entire straightaway on everyone behind them. They're definitely going to have to pit here. I don't see any way that these guys are going any more than 2 more laps here, unless they found a way to save fuel the entirety of the way through the run. But with as hard as what Colin and Tyler have been running, I don't think they have any fuel left to spare here.
Here comes Colin, and here comes Tyler. So right on cue. So those 2 pit, and then hands the lead back over after a cycle to the 5 of Zachary Lima. They come out right as they came in. Lima, Piedra, Corset.
Piedra does have a little bit of older tires here, and you see Korsek is not laying off of his bumper like he was before. He's pretty much right up on there pressuring him. Looks like Piedra got a little bit loose there. That's going to give Steve the opportunity to go underneath of him here and force him up the track.
And Piedra appears to have just let him go.
He did say he was focused more on his long run speed and not burning it up, so I think he's maybe just gonna race conservative here. He knows finishing third in the stage is gonna end well for him either way.
6 to go in stage 1. Only a few cars a lap down.
Justin
Jeff
Kane has
Meaden is
made his
15
way.
down.
Yeah, Justin Kane has made his way up to 5th position right now. He's got Zach Kamel and Matthew Fleming right on his rear bumper, though, it seems.
Jump back there and check that battle here. And, well, he did. He's driving away from him just a little bit. But that works out really well for Fleming, who has the newest tires of basically anybody, other than Colin and Tyler, who find themselves Tyler in 14th, Colin in 17th. Probably not going to be able to make all that up here before the stage break, but... Oh! Almost contact between the 88 and the 4.
Yeah, you see him making use of those fresh tires right there, diving in onto the inside and really driving it hard around the bottom.
Roberts tries to follow him. 5 to go in stage number 1. He's going to have to tuck in behind the 4. Off into 3 here. Lima still leading. But a couple of cars 2 laps down. So Jessica Bellio 16 laps down after some early contact with the wall. Jeff Meaden 16 laps down. Not sure what happened to the 72. Then 3 cars 1 lap down. Griffin Williams, Nathan Bentley, and DJ Thomas.
It'd be interesting to see if Griffin knows he's got 3 laps left, if he's going to race Lima real hard to stay only 1 lap down and maybe stay out and get the free wave, or if he's just going to let him by.
He's going to try. Maybe he's not going to try. It looks like he's going to let the 5 go by him here. Not so fast. Now he... Oh, he sent it in!
Oh!
Oh, he hit him! Saves it. Disaster averted. And DJ's coming back to pit road.
I think he just
Oh,
narrowly
he's
avoided
not.
the pit wall, is what
I don't
happened
know.
there.
I thought he was coming back to pit road. That was weird.
You know, I'm not entirely sure if Griffin really hit him there. I heard someone hit the wall. If Griffin really hit him there, or if he just slid up the track enough to get him aero loose, like we were saying, coming out of that corner is treacherous with someone on that left rear quarter panel.
I'm not sure. I mean, I can't really blame him. He's holding his line. Took the outside. They were side by side into 3, and Griffin drove it in, held his line. I don't know. Kind of one of those deals. Luckily, the 5 able to hold on to it. And not, if any damage, very, very little on the 5 or the 0-2. So, crisis averted. 2 laps to go here at the line in stage number 1. It appears as if the teammates are going to finish 1-2. Oh, car on the wall up in front of him, I think. It might have been the 66 of Paul Ferdiani.
I believe it was, yeah. A lot of guys getting tight coming out of these corners, and especially trying to run it real hard, stay in front of these 2 coming up behind him, the Sweat Bros of Big PP Racing.
He clearly has some speed, although I'm curious. Obviously, guys like Roberts and Kane and Fleming, Fleming a little bit less, but Roberts and Kane and Comella that now we know have speed. Kind of curious now that they're near the front, they can do with it, because they had to dig out of a hole. I don't know if they're breaking up this gap at all, but
Looks like they have been passed by Roberts and Fleming, so on those new tires they're making work of the guys that were in between them and this top 5 position.
next time by it'll be the checkered flag in stage 1. So
And Roberts has gotten by Fleming again.
They are cutting the gap down. I can tell you that much. At least Roberts is. So let's kind of see just how strategy shakes out, I guess.
And especially coming here, these guys want these stage points, so we're gonna see
Off turn
these last
4
couple
down
of
to
corners.
the line. That'll be Lima winning stage number 1 at Indy.
Would you look at that? One stage down and no cautions besides our stage caution. It's a great race by all these guys.
Clean and green, which probably means we just jinxed it for stage 2, but hopefully we didn't. So we'll let everybody get sorted out. As they run right now, stage points going to be Lima, the stage winner, Coruscant, Piedra, Lanfear, and Roberts, the top 5. Fleming, Camilla, Kane, Hammond, and Jacob Hop, the top 10.
Good little run there. Final push from Camilla. He was sitting in behind Justin Kane. Seems like right before the stage end, he kind of nosed in there and gained those extra stage points. We know he wants to be back up on top of the leaderboard running the points, so...
So we'll get the field caught up. Oh. Chris Miller in the 34 smoking the tires a little bit, get in there. Assume everybody will pit right here. Most people will.
I would say just about everyone, unless you're a lap down, wanting to maybe get that lap back, would come in and pit.
Oh. The interesting part will be when we go back green, there's a chance if you play your cards right. There's a chance that you may stretch it the whole stage. We'll see if anybody tries it. But it's gonna be close.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a
make it
shorter
really
run to lap 60, but we saw some of these guys make it for fairly long runs here, so if you maybe have a teammate by you that can tow you or push you or switch off like they do at other long tracks like this, Talladega, Daytona, and save some fuel, you might be able to make it to the end.
Oh, we'll see. Most everybody's on pit road. I think everybody's on pit road, and so we'll give everybody a chance to get their work done. See who's got the best crew on pit road tonight.
In and out.
No change in running order yet.
Goes DJ out ahead.
I think I'm pretty sure he's a lap down. He is. Justin Kane gained a couple spots right there on pit road. Good stop for him. Not any big time position losses there on pit road. And wow, cones are everywhere in turn 2.
Everyone loves to hit the cone.
That's going to be a debris caution. It's not, but jeez.
These pit stops
I
are fairly similar time-wise. One interesting thing that I'm noticing here is TJ Roberts had a little bit of a longer 52 seconds as opposed to some of these guys up front running a 50.1, 50.8 second pit time. So not sure how exactly they got him there. Maybe slid through the box a little bit. It didn't cost him anything, luckily, but
Could be repairs, could be anything really.
Matthew Fleming has fallen out of the top 10 after that, though.
I did hear on the radio he sputtered in turn 3 when we got under caution, so I think that car labored to pit road, although I think he did get it there.
Ah. It's a shame for him. He was running really good right up there with TJ Roberts, but That might have been a pit stop gone wrong. Maybe take a little bit less fuel than what you needed to get to the end of the stage.
Griffin gets one of his laps back, by the way. So Griffin Williams.
Woo!
Get one of his laps back. Huh? Okay. To go, we'll re-rack. Front row is the teammates, Slima and Korosek. Adra on the inside of row 2, and Landfear on the outside of row 2. So a solid run for Michael Landfear so far to this point. Finds himself outside row 2. Row 3, TJ Roberts and Justin Kane. You know, both those cars are fast. They've made their way to the front. Gigabot settled in around 6th or 7th place at the end of that run. He finds himself P7 on the restart. Zach Carmella up to 8th. Jonathan Hammond up to 9th. Tyler Bentley's recovered to get back into the top 10. Behind them, Gallagher, Bauer, McGill, Ikra, Hausman, Holmes, Shu, Fleming, and Miller. That's the lead lap cars. 4 cars still a lap down. EJ Thomas, Nathan Bentley, Paul Ferdiani, and Griffin Williams. It'll be a 26-lap stage. So a little bit shorter than stage 1. 26 is still pushing it on fuel. I don't know if anybody will try it. We may have someone try it. Was curious. Who ran the longest stint there in stage 1?
We'll pull up here and see.
Kind of curious. I just don't happen to have that up right now.
Look at 20 cars here. And it looks like the longest we saw run was 23 laps. So.
So not quite 26. We'll see what people try. Green flag back in the air. The teammates out front with Piedra on the bumper of the 5. Bit of a stack up back there around Camella around P8. Limo's away with the lead, and Piedra's looking for 2nd. And Fear settles in 4th. We'll see if he's got any short run speed compared to the guys in front of him. He's there. Hanging with him. Piedra will tuck into 3rd. And Fear now looks for that position from the 78 machine of Piedra. Not going to get it. Tucks back in. Single file. Whoa! 12 car Justin Kane sliding the back end out there off of 3 onto the short chute. So Roberts is settled into 5th. Whoa!
Oh, wow.
Oh, jeez. Wow. We got a stack up back here. This may create some problems. Oh, boy. Can they hold it? Can for now.
It's a good bit of driving there for some guys.
Wow. I have no idea how they did not wreck.
Might have seen Colin Bauer move somebody out of the way that he didn't want in front of him.
Well, he wants to go now.
We've seen him do it before.
Here's kind of stuck. He's going to get freight trained. And now he's the inside back in the corner. Slides the back end. Wow. This guy's starting to slide the back end out here. The corners. Whoa. Big slide by the 13.
Yeah, I see a lot of guys running real hard on these colder tires. You kind of slide out on the rear end if you don't run it right, or if you're running a little bit too deep into the corner. So that I think is a big issue. Right around lap 2, lap 3 of every run, you're going to see guys set the fastest laps of the stage, and then after about lap 5, you're going to see them start to fall off a cliff in terms of times because of the tire wear.
Lehman continues to lead. He stretches the lead just a little bit over his teammate Korosek. Adria's still 3rd. Roberts starting to reel in Landfear for 4th for now. Landfear holding on to that spot.
Yeah, both of these guys been running really good on long runs, especially TJ Roberts.
Don't look now, but Zach Camella's up to 6th. And Colin Bauer is looking for 7th. That's your first battle on the racetrack right now. Colin's going to get around him pretty easily, and Tyler Bentley's going to try to fill the hole. Not quite.
Not quite, but if he can get
time
there again and make him aero tight, run him up the track, he can really do some work there.
Good drive off, too, for Tyler. He should get to the bottom right here. We'll see. He's going to look. And he's there. Bentley for P8. And he makes it happen. Justin Kane hanging right around in 10th. Gallagher and Hausman are 11th and 12th.
Hausman had a little bit of a longer pit stop as well. I think it may have been some damage. We saw him get kind of close to the wall sometimes, so he may have opted to take some optionals. I know he had a little bit of an issue in a previous race where he took a fast repair when he didn't mean to, and that cost him later on. So.
So, 21 to go next time by in the stage.
Looks like Griffin is pulled back into the pits there. He's running pretty slow. He's almost about to get lapped. He's going to go another lap down here. And Marcus Miller is having the same kind of issue. He's kind of all alone on an island getting ready to enter turn 3. So these guys here are going to track him down real quick, put him another lap down.
And some guys having some rough nights here so far. Still a long way to go. Fortunes can change, but early on, not going the way they expected it to, I'm sure. Roberts reeling in the 0-13 again. Still about 3 car lengths off of him.
Now Roberts is one of the cars that did go the longest in that last stage, so I'm wondering if he's wanting to sit behind Lanfear here and use the pool as much as he can and save some fuel and see if he can make it to the end of this stage without pitting.
I was on for position number 11. This is Hausman and Gallagher. Excuse me, position number 10, sorry.
Nice stage points.
Yeah, battle for stage points. Obviously, still really early, so you're going to have to pit, but track position does mean a lot. So, Gallagher's holding up pretty well on the outside here.
Hey, we
Cross
saw
back even with 17.
We saw Gallagher do the same thing in the last race. He just seems to know how to run the outside line at just about every track we've been to so far and maintain some speed. And you notice, too, he does have some spoiler damage, so he's definitely not got the same aero as what Mason does.
Now Mason gets around him, so that's for P10. Hop 12th, Fleming 13th, so starting to make his way back up. Hammond at 14th, McGill back up to 15th. So starting to recover. And back through the field. And he was continued to pull away here. Get close to halfway through stage 2.
He's put about a 2nd and a 10th on his teammate and almost 2 seconds on Piedra, so he has been setting the fastest times in practice. He didn't have the best qualifying time, but consistency is what his name of the game has been for him.
Two cars calling it a night early. Derek Preston never got back in after early connection issues. Jessica Bellio, for that early incident, calls it a night. Jeff Meaden as well. And most recently, Griffin Williams' streak of top 10s will come to an end tonight, as he calls it a night from 3 laps down.
Unfortunate to hear for Griffin. He's normally the wounded warrior out there running around the track, but you know, Indianapolis gets the best of some guys, and I know it's certainly gotten the best of me in some races before. So sometimes you rather just not put yourself through the torture of these 4 flat turns and 2 long straights.
He's got a long way to go in the regular season to gain points and kind of hang in there as Justin Kane's hit the pit road. He short pits. Interesting. Interesting strategy. Maybe it's unscheduled. Maybe it's scheduled. I don't know. But Justin Kane has taken it to pit road early. See how that works out. Interesting to say the least.
Could also be a result of the last round of pit stops that we had. Some guys did have a little bit faster pit stops than others, so maybe not taking as much fuel, expecting everyone to have to pit here. get some track position early, and then get out ahead, and maybe put some time down when you're all alone.
It's still out in front.
Put over 2 seconds on Piedra now.
He's hanging around in third.
Now Piedra's shown he's more of a guy to wait for the last stage and then really go for it, burn him up whenever he has to, and use his pit strategy to his advantage there. Michael Lanfear's running really good, and so are these two right here making their way through the field. Or these three, I should say. Tyler Bentley's hanging around back there too.
6th, 7th, and 8th, that's Camilla Bauer and Bentley. Camilla, the highest running car for Bentley Motorsports right now, P6. Well, you may be under fire for that position very soon. Here comes Colin Bauer to his back bumper, looks to the inside. And he'll go for P6 going into turn 3.
Oh.
Wow, that was close.
That's what we expect from two of our more aggressive drivers in the league, though.
And as a result, Mel's going to lose 2 spots. Oh, maybe not. We're starting to pit. The 5, the 27, and the 78 of Piedra, all on pit road. That will transfer the race lead over to TJ Roberts.
Like I said, TJ was the one that's made it the longest so far. If he can figure out a way to stretch this out and keep going, he might be able to make it this whole stage without pitting.
26 is a really, really tough ask out of these race cars. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. A little bit warmer racetrack. Be able to do it. We'll just have to kind of wait and see.
Yeah, as we were talking about before the race, to the drivers here, pretty decently high humidity at 36%. Track temperature is raised to 73 degrees, so it's about 10 degrees higher than what we started with.
14 to go in stage number 2, so the race is kind of ticking away pretty quick here. Was on pit road. Hammond was on pit road. Lanfear on pit road as well. Marcus Miller taken to the pit road as well.
So
Roberts has a big lead. He can kind of lay off a little bit here.
Yeah, you can hear that car winding down real low into the RPMs through the corners, so I think he's taking this time, maybe use the short straights to his advantage, not push the cars hard, just kind of stick around the bottom of the track, run the shortest line.
He's got a big enough lead where he can roll out of the gas, save as much as possible. Lead is now up to 2.5 seconds for him.
Yeah, it's about the same distance that we saw Matthew Fleming have on Lima in our practice race whenever he started kicking in the clutch and coasting through all 4 corners of the track. And over a long run like this, whenever you really get into the tires, the speed difference isn't all too significant.
Roberts through turn 3. Next time by, it'll be 12 to go. It's going to be close. No indication that he's pitting, and he does not. Bauer is 2nd, Camilla is 3rd, Bentley is 4th, Gallagher is 5th, Fleming is 6th. The 88 stays out. He may try to stretch it. Holmes is 7th, Shu is 8th, McGill is 9th, and Borisek is 10th. 27 cycles out in front of his teammate. See how long it lasts.
Yeah, these guys are coming down, so about 7 laps after they get across the stripe is the longest we've seen anybody run the fuel here.
It's awfully close to the end of the stage.
I may have a couple of risk takers going to go for it. I mean, we also have Zach Camella and Colin Bauer out there on the same pit cycle right now.
Can't blame them. You got to try something. And then when everybody pits at the end of the stage, you're out front. All right, as you said that, Camella on pit road, Brady Shu on pit road as well.
Might see a couple of the Bentley Motorsports guys hit the pit lane then.
Yeah, they may have stretched it as far as they can. Still, no indication out of the 3 or the 14 that either of those cars is going to hit pit road. 3's got enough of a gap. He may be able to save enough to make it the whole way. I mean, it's cutting it really, really close. Maybe.
Yeah,
Off into turn at number 3.
He does have some lap cars here too, so that may help him with a little bit of push whenever they're behind him, and a little bit of pull whenever they're on the straights.
Start to go around him. That's Jacob Hopp and Mason Hausman.
Yeah, you can definitely tell the speed difference. I do think he's not running that car at 100% trying to get through this stage. Maybe stretch it out at least as long as possible.
Turn 2. Korsek's just now in turn 4. He's got plenty of gap that he can save. I think he's asking for about 4 laps out of the race car. 4 extra laps than we saw last stage. We'll see. We'll see if he goes for it. Tyler Bentley has hit pit road in the 55. Still no indication. We'll see off turn 4 right here.
Yeah, these guys, you can tell a lot of different pit strategies are coming into play here. As you look at the track map, you see a lot of different little packs of guys all along this very, very long racetrack. It's like Matt Fleming has entered the pits. He's got the record for the longest laps, the amount of laps on fuel that we've seen here. So he might be saying, "Hey, I know I'm only making it 24. I'm coming in."
Roberts lets the 13 of Eker go by, puts him back on a lead lap.
You can tell he's fighting for every little inch of draft he can get to get pulled down these straights.
Next time by, it'll be 8 to go in stage number 2. And still, he's going to stay out. He's going for it here, I think.
Hey, more power to him.
John Gallagher has passed Colin Bauer. That's for P2. Ron Holmes is now P4.
Yeah, he's got such a massive lead, because now you got to look at all of the guys behind him up all the way back to Korosek. They're all in the same pit strategy, so they're going to be saving. So TJ can save even more, because if they're saving, they're letting off. They're no threat to his lead. And Korosek is still pretty far back there on the track. Just now coming out of turn 2.
Still got plenty of gap if he wants to try to save. Oh, not gonna work. Here comes Roberts. See if Bauer follows his lead. Neither of them do. Oh, Gallagher does. Bauer does not. Bauer stays on the racetrack.
He may be doing his calculations here.
Oh, okay. He shuts off the race car. Wow.
And you can hear him. He's really letting off. So Roberts was getting down to around 164 in every corner, and Colin is letting off even more, down to like 156, 157.
Well, he's shutting the car off. Like you can hear, he's shutting the car off. Problem is, his lead back to Steve is shrinking quickly. I just don't know if he's going to have enough to go the whole stage. I mean, he can try, but he may lose the lead in the process.
He's staying out again.
He's staying out for now. Next car back's Ron Holmes. For Ron, it may be less about a stage win and maybe more about some stage points here. At least, you know, if you get passed by those 3 cars behind you, at the very least, salvage some points.
Yeah, the gap from Ron to 10th position is about the same gap that we saw TJ have over Steve. They're about half the track behind him, so he's definitely got a big lead here if he's wanting to get maybe a top 5, top 6.
Olin is pedaling this race car. He is really trying to make it the whole way. I don't think his lead is big enough. Only 8 seconds back to the 27.
Well, one thing,
27 is bypassed the 33.
One thing you may have to be thinking about here too for him is maybe just going to pit late in the stage and lose position, but not pit under the caution like most everybody else is, and then gain it all back and start back at the front. Because one lap of fuel, he knows the caution's going to come out, and he's going to be able to just keep it in 4th gear, keep it low RPM, and kind of coast around the track. So if he can not take the caution lap to pit, start out in front, and just save his fuel through that whole lap, he's in a pretty good position as well.
Seeing the 5 dropping down my leaderboard.
Oh.
What happened to the 5?
He's...
Oh, no! Oh, that's devastating.
I don't see anything showing up for me.
Oh, no! All in pits, by the way. That will hand the lead over to... For a second, Lima's disconnected. Oh, that's brutal.
That's very tough for him. I mean, he's still got a teammate out here to root for if he can't manage to get back in it.
It's already a lap down and dropping quickly in the standings.
That'll be a big hit to him for his point standings. He is up there near the very, very top of our point standings. So.
Next time by, 3 to go. Steve's got no pressure. Well, maybe a little bit of pressure. It'll be really close. Piedra's going to try to get there. I don't know, though. He is. I don't know if he's going to have, A, enough time, and B, the speed. We'll see what the gap is right here.
One thing to note here, too, is Ron Holmes just entered pit lane.
Lima is back, but here's the problem. He's 2 laps down.
Yeah, very unfortunate for him. He's not going to be able to get waved around. Now, he will start with a fresh car. So
it's going to happen. We'll have to rely on cautions, though. That's the problem.
That is the issue there. Cautions are, maybe pit strategy, or, at some points in this, you just say, hey, I may not win this thing. Let me get in front of Steve and have him be able to save fuel and help him win the race. I've seen that happen before in some super speedway races where lap down cars will just drive out in front of the leaders and allow them to save. So, a couple of different ways
in stage number 2. 17 cars remain on the lead lap. And 1 car lap down, it's DJ Thomas. And 20. With about a lap and a half to go in the stage, and your tires for him. The 20 should be able to drive away from the 27. Maybe back on the lead lap when we go to green in stage number 3.
We see, I believe Ron Holmes just went a lap down as well, so be a battle for the lucky dog there. He was just coming out of pit road as the 27 went around him, so.
You are correct. He is a lap down. Lima is up to 3 laps down. It appears he's going to stay 3 laps down. White flag in stage 2. And it's Steve Korosek still out front of the field. Adra running in second.
Yeah, you see here you got Steve out in front, Piedra a small gap behind him, and then about half the straight behind Piedra, you're going to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 all grouped together there in a nice little line. A little bit of a gap to 9th place, and then 10th and 11th battling around turn 1 right now entering. So Steve has definitely shown here with him and Lima had fast cars. It's unfortunate for Lima to be put laps down due to some connection errors, but Steve's going to enjoy this one.
And Steve wins stage 2 in Indy.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
So the teammates win the stages. We are halfway through this event. Yeah, I'll go through it. Hang on, I was radioing into the drivers. Hold on. As they run in stage number 2, Coruscant the winner, Piedra in second. So solid day for both of them so far. Tyler Bentley home in third in stage 2. Camella home in fourth. Michael Lanfear holds on for fifth in stage 2. Jason Hausman 6th. TJ Roberts and Matthew Fleming works out for them. They get points. They're 7th and 8th. Hop in 9th, and John Gallagher rounds out stage point winners for stage number 2. The field will get racked up underneath the pace car here off turn 2. Lucky dog under this caution will be Ron Holmes. 33, see him back there behind Piedra. So the cars a lap down, DJ Thomas and Justin Kane.
Ron went a lap down there, but he stretched it as far as he could. 24 laps. I definitely think that is the hard barrier for these cars. Lifting, saving, doing everything that you can. I have yet to see a car turn one turn past lap 24 on this fuel. So.
Well, we'll see. I mean, you never know. This stage is different than the first 2. This is not a one-stop stage. This is at least 2, if not more than that. How far you decide to try to stretch. See. It'll be up to strategy now, unless we get a caution, which the way the racing's going so far.
It's
a
not
couple close calls, but not really anything to speak about with incidents. So
yeah, not probable to happen, but it is very possible to have a caution here. We know that in this final stage, normally guys switch on about halfway through and go from conservative to aggressive, and there's a lot less give and a lot more take.
Staying out under the caution, Ron Holmes to get the lucky dog, as well as Ethan Bentley, Marcus Miller, Zach Lima, and I believe that was all the cars that stayed out.
Might have saw. Unsure there, yeah. I believe you are right.
Oh, close race off pit road. A lot closer than I expected, and wow, Piedra beat him.
Oh, actually,
Adrian Piedra.
We may have to back that up. I'm not 100% sure if Justin Kane was a lap down or not, but he did stay out. My scoring may just be wrong at the moment. Might just be taking the free wave to get his lap back. We did see him pit a little bit early, so and Piedra
Justin
beats him.
Kane was a lap down. He's on the tail end of the lead lap now.
He's made his way back up before, so it'll be interesting to see going at it again.
He's gonna get his lap back. Marcus Miller get one of his back. He was 2 down. Lima will get one of his back. So a really timely caution for Zach Lima. He's still gonna be 2 down. So I mean, ultimately, if the race goes green from here to the end, it's really not gonna help him that much. But he's got a bit of a hole to dig out of here.
Wow, Piedra, maybe going for those longer runs has helped him a little bit. He had a blazing 14-second pit time as opposed to Steve's 16.5-second almost. Then we have Justin Hop coming in on 11.4.
Wow.
He was the fastest, I believe, out of that last pit cycle.
And he's 3rd because of it. We will re-rack the field. And it will look like this. Piedra is out front, with Korosek to his outside. Row 2, now Jacob Hopp and Tyler Bentley. Row 3, Zach Camella and Mason Hausman. Row 4, TJ Roberts and Matthew Fleming. And row 5, Logan Ikra, and Colin Bauer. And then the rest of the lead lap cars: Sean Gallagher, Clint McGill, Jonathan Hammond, Michael Lanfear, Brady Shue, John Holmes, and Justin Kane. 1 car lap down, it's DJ Thomas. Obviously, Bentley, Ferdiani, Miller, and Lima, they are 2 laps down. Williams, Meaden, and Bellio are out of the race.
Unfortunate for them, but still going to be able to get some
still a solid 17 cars on the lead lap here.
Yeah, interestingly enough, we know this is a long race. I personally expected some more cautions, especially with the new aero. We saw some guys get loose, especially racing side by side or tight and run up into the wall, but so far these guys have been really, really good at keeping it off of each other's doors and keeping it clean. Now, how that's going to go for the rest of the race, that's going to be seen coming up.
Expect the intensity to ramp up a little bit, as we will have 56 laps to decide a winner. Stage 3 Indianapolis is underway. Woo. Good start for the leader and the outside car.
Another good
Adrian
start for
Grosek, get a good launch.
Colin Bauer as well. He slid it onto the inside there of Matthew Fleming and gained a couple of positions as well.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be a fight for the race lead.
Now, this has been 2 guys that have had similar speed.
Yeah, and they are drag racing down the back straightaway. Adria is going to try to stay inside of him. He's going to have to drive it in pretty hard here into turn 3. Ooh, they're fanning out back there right around Camella and Bauer. Piedra drives it hard into turn 3. Slides up in front of the 27. Ooh. Run there by Adrian Piedra.
They may not have dirt on this track, but these guys are pulling some dirt track moves. Slide job.
That was a slider if I've ever seen one. Now Korosek is there, so he's going to keep the pressure on the back bumper of the 78. Do not expect Piedra to make this easy. And you can take away the line of the 27 and try to cut some air off the nose. Well, he may have done just that. See the 27 right up the hill.
Yeah, taking that air off of the nose of the car behind you is a risky game, though. You get it in the wrong spot, and then you lose it off your spoiler, and up the track you go as well. So,
he's pulled about a car length and a half, make it 2 car lengths on the 27. So a long way to go, though, in these front two. I don't know how much they've used here tire-wise in the first couple laps, but man. So now Piedra kind of starts to cruise a little bit. And he sits about 3 car lengths out front of the field. It's like a repeat of Charlotte. Piedra acing the field. Big slide into the wall! And he gets hit by the 27! He's into the wall hard! The caution's out!
Oh my.
The race leader!
That was a pretty violent crash for both of them there. I noticed the entire front end off of Steve's car is gone.
Oh, the 27's got damage! Oh no!
It's going to set these guys to the back and have to race through the field.
Wow. Looked like the 78, I don't know if he slid or just went straight.
It's hard telling there. I almost want to say he might have been loose coming through 1 and carried it into 2. That's something that'll happen here. If you lose the rear end a little bit in 1 and you try to flat foot it through 2, you're going to kiss that outside wall pretty hard.
Wow. So our first non-stage caution of the night.
We'll go back and look here at it a little bit closer and see exactly what happened.
Trying to get a little bit more to see what happened. Boy, that changes a lot. I mean, that's going to put really the 2 fastest cars remaining on the racetrack. It's going to put them back quite a ways. Major already the last car on the lead lap.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does look like he had a little bit of an issue with grip.
Well, okay, I'm confirming from Piedra himself. His game froze.
Oh, that is a tough break for him.
Froze up in turn 1.
That would explain the way that he drove it off. He drives it in really hard here and cuts it to the bottom.
A little bit of a change in pit stop strategy. A couple guys pit, couple guys don't. So the new leader under the caution is Tyler Bentley.
Points leader wanting to stay up there.
Lucky dog, DJ Thomas. He'll be back on the lead lap. We'll see where Steve cycles out. He does have 2 fast repairs. He had not used one, but he's going to be near the back of the field. So, going to be tough sledding for him the rest of the race. His teammate already in.
Yeah, these guys just can't seem to catch a break. They run up front, and then a caution comes out or something like this happens, and one of them are involved in it, or one of them have connection issues, or catastrophic wheel failure.
Or a combination of all of them. Well, you never know. So when it seemed like everything was going right, now it seems like everything is going wrong for the teammates.
Yeah, all these guys up here in the top 10 have only went 6 laps, so...
Well, I will say the 27 has only dropped to about 9th position here. I'm also wondering if he did a little bit less on the pit stop, maybe didn't take tires. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. Well, he may not be 9th. Maybe he crossed the line. Yeah, he may have crossed the line in 9th, and scoring on my end hasn't updated yet.
Yeah, I see him back here at 11th. Now, he does have some good company around him with Colin Bauer, Justin Hoppin, Justin Kane, or Jacob Hoppin, Justin Kane, Adrian Piedra, and
now guys start to hit near the back of the line. That's Lima, Ethan Bentley, and mostly lap cars it looked like.
Yeah, it looks like the guys who were maybe wanting to stay out and get that free wave and didn't get a chance to, trapped a lap down. Mason Hausman, biggest mover of the night, up to 2nd position though.
So we'll re-rack the field, and it makes it pretty much a new race. Korsek's still back there. He can still work his way through the field. It's going to take him a little bit, though. Now, a new race. So up front is the points leader, Tyler Bentley. With Mason Hausman now on the front row. Robertson Camello are row 2. Fleming and Shu make up row 3. Logan Ikra and Clint McGill make up row number 4, with Lanfear and Holmes on row number 5. And you find the 27, of course, second 11th, Howard 12th, Up 13th, Piedra 14th, Gallagher 15th, Kane 16th, Hammond 17th, DJ Thomas in 18th, and those are the lead lap cars. 2 laps down still, Paul Ferdiani, Zach Lima, Nathan Bentley, and Marcus Miller.
Interesting thing here, Justin Kane is the only car besides DJ who just got the lucky dog to come down pit road with that second group of cars, so he's making a little bit of an extra stop here, coming in again on top of all these guys in front of him here, so he'll have an extra lap on everybody. It may work out for him.
See, I don't see it.
I'm not
Check
sure.
there. I don't see it. But somebody out there does. It's pretty funny.
Apparently the 32 has collected a cone on his end, riding around on
There's
the
a
hood.
cone out there. If you see a cone,
Please
here's the
return
cone
it to
screen
the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
if you could return it to the speedway, that'd be good. Green flag back out. 50 laps to go. And Bentley gets a decent jump. Hausman actually gets a better jump on the outside. And Korosek kind of taking it easy on the restart, trying to make sure everything pans out. It's getting a little bit crazy back there around him.
Yeah, see Colin
battle's
taking
on for the
3
race lead.
wide.
Hausman trying to run on the high side, trying to get the lead away from Bentley, and he does. New leader, Mason Hausman. Good drive off the outside of turn 2.
This is
He
something
leads the field.
something you don't want to see if you're behind him, because you know that 17 car is going to be hard to pass.
It's very hard to pass. That is definitely true. Only about a car length back. Camella in tow in third.
See, someone
First and
stopped
fourth.
on the track back there. I'm not exactly
What?
sure what happened.
I did not see a car. Focus on this battle for the lead, and then we'll go try to figure out who it was. Would be Nathan Bentley.
Yeah, Nathan Bentley, it seems, might have touched the wall and slid off into the inner corner there and not caused the caution to come out, but he is down pit road right now, getting that car fixed.
Battle's on for second. Here comes Camella on his teammate Bentley. Get that spot pretty easy, and he'll set his sights on the 17 of Hausman. And let me tell you, this is going to be a pretty good battle if he gets up to him here.
Oh yeah, for someone who said that they hated this track and that it was absolute, in his words, dog water, Zach Camella's running a pretty good race.
He's found himself in the best position, that's for sure. And he is reeling in the 17, really trying to get to the back bumper. Date on Stevie's in 9th. So he's made up a couple spots. It's going to really be a grind for him to get back up to the front. I mean, you can already see how far he is off the race lead, trying to race guys behind him.
See, Tyler back there might be playing goalkeeper on TJ Roberts. Every time TJ tries to drift down a little bit into the bottom lane, Tyler follows along, keeping about half of his car in front of him. So, might be giving his teammate some space here to track down Mason and put some moves on him.
Go back here around Steve.
Oh!
Wrecking!
Piedra's in it.
Piedra again! Oh, they're still wrecking! Jacob Hobson. Oh,
wow!
Goodness! Wow, a terrible crash.
Jacob Hopp turned the car into a helicopter.
Piedra, 13 of Ikra, 66 of Ferdiani's in it. Oh, the 33 of Ron Holmes!
Ron Holmes.
And I have a feeling he hit the pit wall.
I do
It'd be
too.
extremely unfortunate. Ikra, Ferdiani, we already talked about. Jacob Hopp, you saw. I'm not sure how that car is driving. He went to space there for a second.
We're gonna see exactly what happened here. That was
Hey, Thomas. Thomas was the one that sent Hopp to space. I saw that much. And I'm gonna try to put this as nicely as I can. DJ is angry. Not angry. Frustrated. Very frustrated. So the caution flag is out with 45 to go.
trying to track down and see exactly what happened here.
That was a huge wreck. Holy cow.
I think there's two parts to this caution. So Ikra gets into the wall. Behind him, you have Ron Holmes, Jacob Hopp, and Adrian Piedra 3 wide coming out of the corner. Ron Holmes does, I believe, hit the pit wall. Oh, yeah, he does. That car goes flying through the pits.
Jeez.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, man. So, lots of cars involved. 32. I still can't get over the 32. He was way in the air. He is in orbit.
And we got a couple of helicopters right there.
I don't know. Maybe the helicopter award. I didn't see the whole wreck.
Yeah, Ron, very unfortunate for him. It looks like he just gets caught on wheel-to-wheel contact, and it jumped that car up about 5 feet. And then, I'm unsure, really, of why DJ would be angry. I do see that he,
Well,
he might have taken out some frustration on the caution happening on Jacob Hopp. It does seem like Hopp was staying in the throttle to try to avoid the pit wall, and DJ ran into him up the track, and then once they both bounced off the wall, followed him down the track, sending him through the air there.
I will say, from what I heard at least, he was just kind of questioning what drivers were trying to get, like what they were going for. Maybe kind of it out there that maybe it was a little bit too early to be going for that kind of move. Start to come off of pit road. Houseman, Camilla, Bentley. Wow, that was close for fourth. It's Fleming and Roberts the top 5, but I have no idea which one of them is fourth and which one of them is fifth.
Fleming is
extremely
fifth.
Close.
As far as my scoring shows, it shows Fleming 5th and Robertson 6th. I saw Adrian Piedra got that car fixed up. He used his fast repair there, so it's probably his last one. It'll be interesting to see how he's running the rest of this race. Do believe that Justin Kane shot the gap there and made it through that caution without touching anyone and without really killing his tires slowing down, so that's gained him a bunch of spots here.
He was still 1 lap down. I think.
Yes, I believe it does.
I'm showing him 1 lap down.
Should be 1 lap down still. Very fortunate for him. He may be able to get back on the lead lap here and gain some positions for points.
Even if he does, I mean, obviously you can tell the intensity is ramped up. As the race continues to get later, it's only going to get more intense. The guys running back there.
Yeah, and like we say, in this league and in racing in general, cautions breed cautions. You stack these guys back up again and give a couple of them fresh tires, a couple of them a little bit older tires. Guys working for different things here, different levels of aggression. Might get another one.
All right, well, Steve's up to 7th, but we got a new leader. He did not pit under that caution. Justin Kane, last week's winner, finds himself out front of the field. 44 to go. 43 to go when we get to the line. Now it's a one-stop race if we go all the way green. Oh, maybe. You have to stretch quite a bit to get to a one-stop race, but maybe a one-stop race.
Yeah, there's a couple of these guys that have shown how conservative they can be. I believe that they can get it in one.
Whoa!
Oh.
Whoa! Wow, okay.
Some guys may be trying to scrub the tires on the dirt back there.
Jeez. All right. Make sure everybody's honest. We're good. Keeping everybody awake.
Hey, this is a long race, so
falling asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, if you get a little bit too tired there, you might run into the back of the guy in front of you.
Wow.
You see a couple of guys now giving a little bit of space to the car in front of them farther back through there where that kind of happened.
Hey, don't blame them at all, in the slightest. This car will take the left. 43 to go. At Indianapolis, Justin Kane leads the field towards the restart zone. It's he and Mason on the front row. Green flag back out at Indy. Miller right to the back bumper of the 12, pushing him off towards turn 1.
Big run for Mason up top.
He's been getting good restarts all night long. See, he's going to carry that speed right to the race lead off turn 1. And Camilla's going with him. Oh, this is going to stack the field up big time. Steve looks 3 wide. Can't get there. Now Colin looks to the outside of Steve, trying to go around him.
You see these cars kind of fishtailing, trying to keep it down to the bottom whenever there's a guy outside of them.
It's all going on behind Mason Houseman, who has cleared the field by 3 car lengths. Houseman out front. We are still in a hornet's nest back here.
Saw Matthew throw a pretty hard block on Steve there, keep him behind him.
I don't blame him. Adrian is starting to make his way back up through the field, by the way. You see him back there battling with Michael Lanfear. Steve in P8, now outside of Fleming for P7.
Really putting the pinch on him there. It's be an interesting battle of side draft and aero tightness.
Moves Steve to P7.
See, Piedra's working the inside there. He's declaring his position early, saying, hey, I'm coming down inside you. Give me space.
Let's see if he gets there. He will. So Piedra moves on Landfear for 11th position. Oh boy! Oh boy! Close call, and then another close call down the front stretch there.
One to the outside wall, one to the pit wall. That's neither position you want to be in.
For 9th, Alan Hammond and Brady Shoe.
Yellow flag is out.
And yellow flag! Yellow, yellow, yellow. And I hate to say this.
It's like
Oh.
Ron Holmes.
Maybe he's not.
I see Clint
Like, what's-
McGill involved in this on my end.
Damage. Ron Holmes doesn't have that much damage. Looks like he's all right. Front end's flared out a little bit. That's not too bad.
Yeah, Ron may have gotten some damage trying to avoid the caution. We're gonna see what exactly happened there.
Miguel definitely has some rear end damage.
Oh yeah, it happened way in front of Ron. Ron gets into the back of the 34 trying to avoid the caution. That's where his damage came. Not too bad. But it does look like it's centered around Clint McGill here. So we'll back it up and see exactly what happened. Saw a lot of smoke coming through the corner.
And we got a brand new race with 40 laps to go because lucky dog is Zach Lima. That's the caution he needed. He's going to be back on the lead lap now. He'll be at the tail end of the field. So it'll be a bit of work for him to get back up to the front, but the way this race is going now, it seems like it's going to be who can survive the longest.
Yeah, unfortunate for Clint there. It looks like Marcus Miller in the 34 drove it in, maybe trying to go for a 3-wide gap, not entirely sure. But definitely arrow tight, drifted up the track right into the left rear of Clint, sending him up into the track. Hopefully these guys have some fast repairs, can get their cars fixed up and sent back out on the track.
Some cars pit, some cars don't. Bauer and Horsek decide to pit. Most cars do not. Look back here. 78 of Piedra pits. 20 of Thomas, 50 of Gallagher, 34 of Miller, 19 of McGill. All decide to pit, but everybody else stays on the racetrack.
Could be the teammates trying to get back together and work their way through the field like we've seen them do time and time again.
Here he goes. Lima's getting his lap back.
Yeah, Steve knows Lima's coming around, and if those two can get together, I mean, this is got super speedway link straightaways where you can really push the car. I know that's probably what they're going to be looking to do. The restart on older tires didn't hurt Justin Kane too hard, though. He hasn't fallen off too far.
Yeah, he's sitting right in 4th position right now. At the rate we're going, 1 or 2 more cautions make this pretty much a 30-lap race to the end where you split it in half. And this quickly becomes either we're going to have cautions from here to the end of the race, or we go on a long green flag run here, and it comes down to who's got the best strategy. Right now, assuming we go back to green on lap 84, it means 37 to go. You're splitting it right about 18 laps. That's easily doable on one stop. So I think we're looking at a one-stop race here.
Yeah, for some of these guys, possibly.
Yeah, I guess it depends on your run. Obviously, if you just pit, it's a one-stop race, probably.
Yeah, well, these guys up here
caution,
at
the leaders
front,
pit, then it's a one-stop race.
Yeah, these guys up here at the front, Hausman, Camilla, Bentley, Fleming, Roberts, Hammond, Shoe, Lanfear, Hop, they're all on 6 laps. Justin Kane's the odd one out here. He's on a 12-lap run. Another caution may see him come in just to kind of get him up to speed in terms of strategy-wise. May see some of these guys up front come in too. They think that they can make it to the end on that one stop. But I do think that we're going to see Justin Kane here shortly dive down to the bottom of the racetrack, hold that bottom line, and take the turn into the pit lane. See how it goes for him.
Two of our 3 previous race winners are up here near the front of the field. Camilla running 2nd, and Kane running 4th. Our other race winner, Colin Bauer, runs 12th at the moment. So a decent chance at a repeat winner here in race number 4, but also a good chance for a new winner.
Yeah, any of these guys up here in this lead lap pack really have a chance to win this thing. They've all shown stints of being the fastest car on the track. So it really comes down to how many more cautions we're going to have, what's your pit strategy going to be, how much you can save fuel if it comes to pit strategy, and where you're at the end of it. I mean, we've seen a couple of guys just get out those big 2.5 second, 3 second, 3.5 second leads just by saving their fuel and running slower. So that is a strategy here coming into the last couple laps of this stint of this race.
You saw Hausman do it. If he can get far enough out in front, I mean, it's going to be a pretty good spot for him to be in. The problem is, obviously, with them being a little bit off cycle from the guys running 11th on back, it makes it tough if those guys make it through the field. It's going to be some work for him. We'll see if they can get it done.
Interesting to see. Mason has chosen the inside lane. He's been starting on the outside, getting a good run. So,
well, he's finally the leader. I don't know if he was the leader on the last restart.
Yeah, but with his choice,
It was not. It was Justin Kane.
Yeah.
But finally gets to choose. He goes to the inside. Green flag. Bauer. Whoa! Taking it 3 wide.
Sounds like Colin.
There are cars wrecking, I think.
Oh, yeah. A couple of guys into
Oh,
the
it's
wall.
Colin! Colin Bauer in the wreck. Well, I don't guess it wasn't a wreck.
Yeah, no caution.
Still.
Might have
And
seen
Lima
some guys-
was in it. Lima's got damage. The 5 car has damage.
Saw some
Ow.
guys slow down. You can look. I believe a couple guys. Jacob Hopp has entered the pit lane. Unsure
Yeah,
of
battle for the
exactly
race
what
lead, by
happened
the way.
there.
Battle for the race lead, Hausman and Camella. Camella trying to carry speed off the high side. Mason slides up. Camella's back to the quarter panel.
It's not a position you want to be in for either of these guys because the other one is prone to maybe move you out of the way if he has to.
Oh, and heads up, because here comes Tyler Bentley in 3rd and Robertson 4th. They are there. As long as these guys side draft and run side by side, those cars behind him are going to stay right locked to him. Although now I think the 4 has cleared him, and he has. New leader, Zach Camella. A guy that does not like this racetrack. He has an awfully fast car. Now he leads the race. 35 laps to go. Oh, and he is pulling away quickly.
Jacob Hopp is starting to leave the pits. We see a couple guys in it
Jacob Hopp, I think, was the car that Bauer tried to take 3 wide.
Yeah, I believe so. It might have been a 3 wide restart gone wrong coming into turn 1. That's where it looks like everything went down. No caution though, but definitely took out a lot of fast cars from the contention of maybe getting up here in the lead, especially with what looks like the pit times here. Guys are out of their fast repairs.
DJ Thomas has called it a night. I think he got in that wreck there on the restart. Really a rough night getting caught in basically everyone else's messes but his. As a result, he is done for the evening. Ella continues to lead over Hausman and Bentley. That's the top 3. Roberts hanging on to 4th. Piedra's up to 5th, but don't look now. Korosek is battling for 6th with Matthew Fleming. Well, they are side drafting, so they're going to slow each other down. It's going to allow Piedra to put a little bit of time between himself and the 27.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Caution! Oh, this is a big wreck. There's a lot of cars in this one, I think. 50 of Gallagher. We'll see.
I see Logan Ikra in it. Oh my. Brady's shoe. We'll check and see what happened with this one and then maybe go back and see what happened on that restart.
Brady, John Gallagher, they're both in it. Gill is in it, I think. Colin Bauer, maybe not. I don't know. He was in the restart wreck.
Nathan Bentley, Logan Ikra. Oh my! Brady Shue had a violent
This was
wreck.
a big wreck.
Zach Lima is involved in this one as well. I'll have to go back here and see exactly what happened. Brady took a tumble into the inside wall, and that car flipped for about half of the straightaway.
Jeez! Wow.
It looks like maybe side drafting gone bad. John Gallagher drifts up the track, gets into the quarter panel of Brady, and around he goes, and then it's just cars caught up in the chaos after that. This new smoke that they have, it's so thick you can't really see through it. So that's going to be that caution. Unfortunate for those two guys. Brady is still driving that car somehow. I want to go back here and see exactly what happened with the restart here as well. Oh my! Yeah, so on that restart, Colin, it looks like I really don't know how that wasn't a caution. There were guys backwards on the track. But Colin looks to the outside on the restart of Jacob Hopp. Ends up hitting the wall.
He's telling me he
him
smacks
around.
the wall. He's telling me it's on him.
Oh yeah, he hits the wall, spins the 32, and then
kind of a move gone wrong for him.
DJ tries to stop, but Lima no-lifts it right into the back of Clint McGill and DJ, forcing DJ into Hop, and then Hop goes around for a second time over the nose of the Adidas-sponsored Toyota of DJ Thomas and reverses it down the front stretch. I still don't know how this wasn't a caution. That's insane. There were guys completely sideways and rolling backwards on the track. But
all right, well, we're gonna try to regroup from that. This is
cautions breed cautions. I'll say it again.
Okay, a little bit of a change on pit road. Well, first of all, we're gonna talk about the guys who stayed out. That'd be TJ Roberts, Piedra, Persek. There's a lap down. I don't think he's the lucky dog. Maybe he is. Maybe he's not. I don't know.
He did take some contact, so even if he was the lucky dog, it is not going to give it to him.
All right. So those three stay out on the lead lap. So Korsek and Piedra back out front again. Although their tires are a little bit older than the guys that are going to be starting behind them, led by Mason Hausman in fourth. Hausman will be fourth. Bentley will be fifth. Fleming sixth. Well, it drops to seventh. Jonathan Hammond will be the 8th position. Justin Kane and Michael Lanfear will round out the top 10, and I think Lima will be in 11th.
Yeah, looking at the pit stop strategies, so Roberts is out of the front three. He's out there on 13 laps. And then you have the two behind him, Piedra and Korsek, out there on 7. So if they run at the distance on theirs, they can definitely pit once and be good for sure. Everyone behind them is going to come down to how well you do in the Hornets Nets and how well you can save your fuel if you can make it all the way here.
Well, 7-lap older tires doesn't seem like that much, but here, anything above 5 is going to be a pretty decent speed difference. So
yeah, it's from lap 1 to lap 5 you're okay. Lap 2, 3 you set your fastest times. Lap 5 the tires start to fall off. You get guys sliding their back ends out if they enter too hot. Lap 12 is the next big drop off where you're going to see guys really start having to lift and pick their corner entry and apex it. And then past that you're looking at around lap 20. If you're not saving for fuel and you're still running it real hard to get back to pit lane, you start to get the drift out towards the wall whenever you're coming off of corner 2 and corner 4, which can hurt you, especially with your pit entry if you hit it wrong, slide up the track, and then you gotta cross 4 lanes of traffic to try to get down into the pit lane.
This race has been very, well, it was running really smoothly through the first 2 stages and the last 30 laps. Boy, this is taking a chaotic turn, so kind of see here. Let's restart what happens with the car on older tires starting in the lead again. See how they fan out here with most of the field on new tires.
I think we'll see some more conservative restarts after that chaos that they had there from these guys. They're running out of these fast repairs real quick, and you don't want to be with 0 left and this many laps left. Dangerous position.
Pace car takes the left turn. Field in the hands of TJ Roberts. 30 laps to go from Indianapolis. Green flag is out. Good jump for Roberts. He gets out ahead of the 78, headed for turn number 1.
And we said TJ's been a guy who's been able to find speed on those old tires, and here he shows he can still do it.
Well, it also allows the 78 to kind of follow here, and he does just that. And here comes Mason. Mason's wasting no time at all. Going to get to the outside of the 27 of Corset. Definitely going to stay in line. Mason takes 3rd. Fourth into 4th. Robertson Piedra leading the field as they fan out a little bit further back right around Michael Lanfear.
And don't look now, here comes the 5, working his way through the field as well.
He's up to 8th right now.
Just made a daring 3-wide pass on Justin Kane and Jonathan Hammond.
Piedra's there. And he moves to the inside. The race lead. Roberts fights it off the high side, holds on to the race lead. Wow, what a runoff one there for Roberts.
On these older tires, guys have been able to kind of hold it. If you can really get it to stick on the middle.
He throws a block
run
right there as Piedra tried to look inside. He's able to cut some air off the front of the 78, pull back away just a little bit, battles on for 4th position. That's Bentley underneath Corset. He will get that spot. So now top 4, excuse me. Roberts, Piedra, Hausman, and Bentley. Now top 5 make it Camilla as he goes around Corset. And Fleming's coming for 6th. Corset dropping like a rock.
It is
Corset 7th.
I'm learning here that apparently Piedra's alternate ego or nickname may be Soup Can. So,
Soup Can.
Go Soup Can.
Go Soup Can. Okay. I mean, it's creative. I'll give him that much. Lima now passes his teammate. That's for 7th. And battles on for 3rd place. Tyler Bentley's found himself some speed late in this one.
That's a group of cars right there that's not going to give any space.
Here go the Bentley cars. Here we go, the Bentley cars. They're going to try to tandem draft on the front stretch. Right on the back bumper of the 55. They're going to try to pass Mason. Camella slid up.
That's about what I expected.
17. It's past him. No incident. They did hit, but not really a major incident there.
Yeah, there's no love lost there, but I wouldn't be surprised if the rear end of that 4 car gets a little touch there. Side by side again.
Piedra dives in hard in turn 3, and he takes the race lead. New leader, Adrian Piedra. Back out front for the 2nd time tonight.
And Tyler Bentley's been making the most out of those holes punched by other cars. He dives in and takes 2nd place now.
He's to P2. Tyler Bentley's flying.
Maybe he's setting himself up. He knows he's fast at Bristol, so.
Emma's up to 6th. He's got quite the battle going on in front of him between Hausman and Camella. And oh boy, it's getting interesting back here. Oh, running out of space.
That is a group of fast cars, aggressive drivers, and guys who may not be in the best spirits with each other.
Well, no, I would agree. Emma looks underneath Camella. Camella throws the block. Camella looks underneath Hausman. Can't get there. Justin Kane around the 88 of Fleming, so Justin Kane's on the move. Some good racing here late. Camella coming back underneath 17 of Hausman. See if he can put his bumper in going into one. Oh, my. Did he send him? Oh, he almost sent him. He's in the wall.
Oh, and into Lima.
I think he tried to send the 17 right there. I wouldn't have blamed him.
I mean, they call him Rowdy for a reason.
Justin Kane comes around Camella now.
And here
Lima
we go.
As well. Battle's on for the race lead, by the way, as Bentley has caught the 78.
Yeah, Adrian here is just trying to drive away with this, but Tyler's refusing to let him. These guys are breaking away from the pack. It looks like T.J. Roberts on pit range.
Coming down. Yep.
A couple of guys get shuffled there trying to avoid him. Steve Korosek also hits the pit lane, so. Which, I mean, if you're going to be able to stretch it, this is the farthest we've seen anybody go. So right now, if you're looking for the guys who are going to try to stretch their fuel all the way to the end, they're going to pit now.
Tries to break the draft, does Piedra. We got a duel going on at the front right now. You can't focus too hard on each other because don't look now, but the run to the front may be almost complete. Lima's made it to third. Now the problem is he is on a little bit older tires, I think, than most of the field. Or maybe he's not. I can't remember off the top of my head.
We'll bring it up here and we'll let you know.
Server issues. Hang on.
Oh my. We'll
Bad
cut
server
back.
issues. Bad server issues. Very bad. We're back, I think. Maybe.
I'll switch back to
All
the
right,
lead for now.
We're good.
So looking at the pit link, actually Lima is on the same tires as what Tyler Bentley is. So Piedra's the odd man out in this top 10, trying to hold off all these guys on fresh tires, and it looks like he's got the same speed regardless. But he's definitely not going to have the fuel here.
Guys are starting to pit. There you go. I mean, 23. That's the money lap. And this is going to be really, really interesting. Guys on the lead lap starting to come down pit road. Going to try to make it to the end. Bentley's the closest he's been. Tries to put some pressure on the race leader. Gap has closed a little bit to P3. The Lima's starting to close in.
Yeah, as these guys race here, it's going to give Lima an opportunity with these new physics where you can side draft somebody and slow them down and get them aero tight, push them up in the corner. Clean air is a benefit.
Everybody will need to pit again, so even Lima will need to pit at least one more time. Probably only one more time now.
And Justin Kane's worked his way up to 4th position now as well.
Lima's coming in a hurry. Yeah, he cut another half a second off. He is coming in a big-time hurry. Bentley needs to get around the 78 if he has any hope of passing.
Yeah, you see him cutting down to the to that left tail light sticker on that Chevy or Toyota, sorry. Trying to push him up the track. That's exactly what you want to do if you want to get a guy out of your way on older tires.
And we may have pit stops. Bentley, first of the leaders to bite. He pits. Piedra is still out front of Zach Lima. They all stay out. Brady Shue is in.
Michael Lanfear,
Camella in as well in the 4.
So the Bentley Motorsports team pits.
Bentley Motorsports cars pit. 013 of Lanfear is in as well. Piedra continues to lead. Gap down to about 1.3 seconds. So we'll see here we'll see who wins on strategy. I mean, now, we'll see. It's going to be very interesting. I have to see what happens.
Looking at the timing here cutting down, I think Piedra's in save mode here.
I think he may be pitting. He is.
Yep,
Piedra's
there he
coming to
goes.
pit road.
As
Lima's
well as
coming
Lima.
with him. Come at the same time.
Lima does have the more,
And
does
Does not give the lead to Mason Houseman. It should give the lead to Colin Bauer.
Oh my.
They will. Colin Bauer, the race leader, with 19 laps to go.
Spin it to win it.
This is going to be really interesting based on pit strategy. Our guys start to cycle out of pit road. I'm waiting for scoring, but some guy's not pitting yet.
Marcus Miller just entered the pit lane.
It's just going to take a second here probably to kind of figure out where everybody cycles. Bauer continues to lead off turn 4. He's going to stay out again. 18 laps remaining in this race.
Piedra did come out in front of Lima.
Yeah, what about Bentley? Bentley's closing in on him, I think. This may be a 3-car race to the end. Escobedo's going to unlap himself.
Yeah, we saw Colin go the distance last time. I think he's going to be looking for the same thing here.
Bentley is kind of there. It's mostly a 2-car race between Piedra and Lima for who's going to cycle back out in front. But for now, we're going to keep it right here on Colin Bauer because he and the 88 of Fleming are staying out. Other cars staying out. John Gallagher and Clint McGill, as well as Steve Korsak, I think. He's pretty far back. I don't think he's come to pit road, and it's going to kind of hurt him here. So
These guys here, who, Steve?
yeah, I don't
Oh,
think
no,
he's
he
pitted
did
yet.
pit, yes.
Oh,
Yeah, Steve is about, if I'm looking at it correctly, probably about 5 or 6 laps into his run right now, so.
oh, he's going to cycle out the leader then.
Yeah, he
Now,
has
obviously, I think I heard him say he has damage on that race car, though, so we'll see. See how that goes for him.
So these top 4 here, they're on 15. You're looking at about 8 laps if you really want to stretch it before you got to come in. So if I'm one of these guys, I'm hoping maybe some people behind me cause a caution, and then you get to pit and come out with everybody else.
Not sure if there's anybody really close enough to each other to cause a caution right now. Field's pretty split up. Oh, yeah, well.
Colin blinked out there a little bit. I thought we may have lost him there. He might have gotten Iracing 87.
87, wow. Context for everyone that does not know what we were talking about. A glitch with iRacing in sessions involving the 87 car that they have was disconnecting people at completely random times, and it was quite the situation.
Round they go for another lap.
Update for you: Piedra has passed the 27.
Yeah, looking at the
leader off the cycle, assuming these guys can't make it the whole way, which there's no way. Assuming everything cycles back out, it's going to be Piedra out front.
yeah, looking at the lap time, Steve definitely has some damage. He's running about a second and a half slower than any of the other guys up there near the front. So.
Next time by, it'll be 14 laps to go. Colin rolling out of the throttle. Fleming's coming this time. Leaves 2 cars on the racetrack, I think. Maybe only one. Maybe only Colin again.
Should be Gallagher,
Not seeing the
McGill,
50,
and
yeah.
Bauer. Now we know.
Oh, I
T6
didn't
guy.
even see Clint McGill. Okay, Fleming pits. Let's check on John Gallagher. Here he is. He's going to stay out. And Gill stayed out. So 3 cars left on the racetrack that have not pit. Just switch to the wrong car. Here we go. Same story for Colin. I mean, he's going to try to stretch it to a win.
Yeah, completely surrounded by lap cars.
Well, I think it's just too many laps. Obviously, respect the effort, but
I believe, if I'm reading this correctly, the 02 car of Griffin Williams has decided to take his repairs and rejoin the track.
well, I mean, you talked about it earlier. He tends to try to limp a car around to a finish. Marcus Miller is rim riding. Wow, he's running the dirt car line up there to rip the fence. 14 laps to go. Still Bauer out front.
He's getting some help here from Nathan Bentley too. He's able to
He's
stay
able
right
to sit
on
right
him.
in behind him. So it's Bauer, Gallagher, and McGill. They did those 3 cars. I don't know. I mean, I didn't think they could make it, but see, they still got a long way to go, though.
Yeah, looking at it, they're coming to lap 19 on this. So longest so far that Colin has went himself has been 24. You got about, well, this will be lap 20. So 4 more laps. We'll see him enter the pit, I would assume, if he's trying to go that long again. But he may have a strategy here now. I know he likes to do some of his calculations here, and he might have figured out if he stays out in front and doesn't take a full tank of gas and no tires, he may be able to maintain a lead.
No tires is bold.
It is Colin though.
This Colin, though. You're right. Sure.
And I would have to say that is exactly what he's gonna attempt to do here. We've seen him do it in some races before, where he figures out exactly how much fuel he has to get in this car to go to the end, and he just takes that amount and lives with the result. He's already locked into the playoffs, so winning here isn't necessary for him. It would be nice, of course, but maybe a strategy to get
Gallagher has run out of time, and McGill has run out. So they have run out of laps they can run. They bring it to pit road.
So now it's Piedra in second, who is pretty much exactly half of the track distance between him and Colin.
Colin is really limping that thing now. It's like we saw him doing on that earlier run where he ran it out 24 laps. Just don't see him going very much further, though. He's gonna put in an effort. Cannot say I blame him for at least trying.
I do know from experience, if you run out of fuel and you're somewhere around turn 2, as long as you know it's coming and you full throttle that thing, you can coast it all the way around the track without causing a caution. You just got to take the inside corners. Coming to lap 23 for him. He
is really limping this thing now. He is pedaling it down the backstretch pretty much.
There goes the car off. Back on it goes.
Turn
And off
4.
again.
It'll be 9 laps to go when he hits the line.
And he
turns
stays out
pit road
again.
again. Colin he's gonna try it. Look, I don't blame him. Don't blame him at all. Or at least trying this. I mean, you might as well. You already won.
Someone has
You're already
said
locked in the.
Colin is doing a Lightning McQueen move. No tires, only gas.
No tires. Yeah, he's got to go no tires, I guess. If he holds it out long enough, I don't think he's.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Oh, no!
And that helps Colin. Now everybody's going to come for tires. Colin might be in the lead.
Ron Holmes goes around, it seems. We'll have to check and see on him. I need to know here, though, is Colin going to be able to go around one more time to get into the pit lane? Or will he run out of fuel on the
He's gonna
caution?
have to try to coast the thing around the pit lane.
We'll
Wow.
go check on Ron and make sure see everything's okay with him. But that was a timely caution for Colin, that's for sure.
Oh, it's always the most unexpected cautions.
Oh, wow. Looks like just a little bit too much of a run by Ron coming up on the back of the 0-2 of Griffin.
Oh.
Sent them both into the outside wall and down inside to the inner wall. This has been the most flips I think I've seen in one of our races so far, as Ron flips that thing around and lands back on his wheels, but seems like he towed it into the pits. It may be it for him. You can see the front end of Griffin's car completely taken out there.
Oh yeah. Colin will pit right here. He has to.
He has to.
Here's the question: who stays out?
I see Piedra coming down pit lane, I believe.
You would think a guy like Fleming and Gallagher does. Gallagher stays out. And Miguel stays out. They're gonna get laps back, but they are on really the best strategy. I don't know if any lead lap cars stayed out. Fleming did. New leader, Matthew Fleming. He does it again. He did it last week at Charlotte. He's going to try it again.
Old tires in the lead. He's fast at this track. He was the second fastest, I believe, in our first practice session that we had. So we know he's got speed here.
It's laboring. I will tell you that much. It is laboring. So Gallagher gets his lap back. I think McGill also will get his lap back. Well, McGill's the lucky dog.
I
Gallagher gets his
believe
lap back.
I believe that Colin Bauer has made it off first from pit.
Did. Ahead of Piedra. Barrel starts second. Piedra third. Is that in fourth?
Go back here, Steve.
Borsek. Wow.
He may have had a fast repair in the bank. That car may be fully fixed now.
I'll take a look here. Oh, can't really tell. Here's that way. Lee is fifth. Kane sixth. That'd be Lima seventh. And I don't know where the rest of the lead lap cars will file in. We'll get them here in a minute when we get to one to go.
Looks like Mason Hausman in 8th, TJ Roberts in 9th, Zach Camella in 10th, Brady Shue in 11th, Hammond in 12th, Clint McGill in 13th, John Gallagher in 14th.
Oh, you already saw McGill get his lap back.
Now, pit strategy normally in these late race runs don't play too much of a part whenever we have these cautions come out like this, but if Colin has figured out how to take less fuel and have a lighter car, he's going to be faster in the corner speed.
We'll see if he did it. I'm not sure. Other guys may have done the same, so we'll see.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. I know some of these guys out here aren't very far in their stint, so
Definitely sets up a great finish, I can tell you that much. We got a lot of fast cars near the front of this pack. I'm telling you what, the car that probably likes the way this restart is lined up the most has got to be Piedra, because Fleming, you would think, in 1 and 3 is going to be driving it in really, really hard.
yeah, have him
Trying to
get
clear the 14.
tight. Get tight, drive up the track, push Colin all the way up to the high side, and maybe dip it in, take it through line.
Piedra's got to be thinking that's going to happen here. Corsic, and if that happens, Corsic's kind of stuck unless they go a little bit higher up than that second groove, but otherwise he is stuck. Especially if it happens in turn 1. And don't count out the possibility of Piedra maybe getting a good run. Fleming maybe spins the tires and tries to take it 3 into turn 1, looking for the race win.
You know, with not a lot of laps left here in this race, this is go time. This is full throttle, flat out, no lift.
Go time. My catchphrase. This is what I like to call go time. Off turn 4. 5 laps to go.
Green's out.
Green flag. Fleming and Bauer to the restart zone. What a start for Fleming. Piedra takes it 3.
Oh,
he hooked it in the wall.
Fleming's up in the column.
Oh my
my
goodness, the big one. Oh, the big one.
It is a super speedway race, just about.
Wow. Fleming through the block.
I can hear it now. Wow.
Crash.
Crash.
That's quite the crash. What a move by Piedra. What did I say? Piedra is the beneficiary of a late race move. Now he's going to have to win a restart. Now that's the thing. So the restart's going to be kind of tough. So we'll get a look here at who all is involved. So Piedra's going to be the race leader. Tyler Bentley is going to be second. Lima will be third. I can't tell who's in fourth. I'll let it cycle here.
Ooh.
Here comes Piedra. He'll cross the line right here to take race lead.
Should be TJ Roberts after everyone pits for damage repair in fourth, followed by
Bentley,
Brady Shue.
Lima, Roberts, and Colin Bauer is the top 5.
Yeah, I would expect to see Colin pit here. Maybe.
All right, so
Zach Camella does look like he got through here with a clean race car somehow, with chaos going on all around him as well. So Brady and Colin made contact. If both of them decide to go in, I think it puts Camella back into fourth position here. But right back in front, we're going to have the same battle we had before between Tyler Bentley and Piedra. And Colin comes in, Hausman comes in.
So, looks like, well, some guys stay out closer to the front.
Lima stays out. Lima definitely has some damage there. He
was still pretty quick. I don't know. You got to think Piedra's been so fast all day. I mean, if he gets clear into turn 1, it's going to be awfully hard to beat him.
Be interesting to see which line he chooses, if he opts for the inside or the outside line on this restart.
I'd probably pick the inside, I would think.
Yeah, fresh tires, you can get the run and defend a lot better on the inside. But
I mean, if you wanted to go outside, maybe try to get a better run and keep Bentley to the line, and that holds up the 5. Maybe you're thinking kill 2 birds with 1 stone, get clear into 1, and drive away.
It'll be interesting. The only issue with him starting on the outside, I could see, would be you have 3 pretty fast cars with Tyler Bentley, Zachary Lima, depending on how much damage that car has, and then Tyler's teammate, Zach Camella, all starting on the bottom row, and on that front straight, if these cars link up, I mean, we've seen guys enter that turn going 192, 193 miles an hour with a tandem draft. If 3 guys get nose to tail, that could be a significant speed advantage.
Game is laboring again. Gotta love it.
Luckily, it's almost over.
Yeah, I know. Luckily, yeah, it's almost over. A little over 2 hours race time right now.
It's a very long race. These guys are going to be really tired after this. I can guarantee you that. This is a strenuous track. You know, every single corner feels different. Both of the straights feel different now with the wind blowing you down the straight in the front stretch and then against you in the back stretch. So this is just a variable racetrack. I see. This is going to be a race to the end, that's for sure. All of these guys up here on the lead lap have a chance to win this race as long as they aren't damaged, or even if they are damaged, depending on how these final corners go.
So we have 2 laps to go on the restart. Adria did pick the inside line, so like you expected. Piedra is gone. This one is actually not me. This one's just Piedra.
He might be having some connection issues. He's
back.
Oh,
and he's gone again. Oh, he's back again, and he's gone again. Wow.
Hopefully he can get that sorted out before the restart. Because I know one thing is for certain: if he is not there,
well, he has no choice. I don't see him.
If he is not there by the time the green flag waves, I would expect Zach.
Oh, there he is! Whoa, green flag!
Oh. And he's dropping to the back.
Oh, Roberts gets hit by shoe on the restart. So 2 to go. And we're off into turn 2, and Lima gets through with the lead.
A little bit of contact on the restart. No caution. If these guys come around one more time, it's going to be
the white flag. Race is going to be official. Camella sends it into 3. Whoa! He drove in so hard. He's trying to get to the back bumper of the 5. That may have been his only chance. Well, maybe not. Let's see. Off 4, he's really loose.
Might see 4 races, 4 winners. Lima's breaking that draft. The Bentley Motorsports
white
car.
Flag! At Indianapolis. 4 car may have one more shot at him if he runs it just right, but it definitely.
I think Lima may have gotten to the wall there. That'll slow him down here. I don't know how much that's going to affect him.
It's not going to slow him down enough. Camella's loose again. He's gone.
Unfortunate for Piedra that he blinked out there.
Second place. Through 3.
Oh, TJ Roberts into the
4
wall.
cars in the wall. Roberts was in the wall.
See some switch up there.
Turn 4. Pretty much the fastest car.
From 3 laps down, connection issues to the winner.
Record flag, Lima wins Indy. And this time, no controversy about it.
Oh, wow, I see some guys all over the place back there. He's going to go for his victory drift rollback, I believe. It's the standard that we see out of him.
4 races, 4 winners. So we'll let him burn it down here. He's going to do his traditional.
Oh, into the wall. Wall tap.
Oh boy.
Saved it.
It didn't quite work for him.
Maybe needed to wait a little bit longer.
Hang on, he'll come back around. There he comes. Oh. Oh! Wow.
He doesn't have to pay for it, so what's the matter, right?
Ah, well. So we'll go through the finishing order while he's burning it down. We'll get a word from him in a second. We'll go through the finishing order first. We'll get some words from some guys here post race. But Lima wins his first win of the year. He is locked into the playoffs, and a third of the playoffs are locked in with winners now. Tyler Bentley, the points leader, recovers for a second place finish. So, what looked to be a really disastrous day from the start ends up being a really good day for him. He comes home runner-up. His teammate, Zach Camella, comes home in third. Good points days for those two. The Motorsports cars. Jason Hausman recovers for a fourth place finish. So a really good day for him as well. And Colin Bauer comes home with the top 5. So after all of that, he ends up with a top 5 finish. TJ Roberts coming home in 6th. So finally a good day for him after a couple of weeks of bad luck for him. He comes home with a top 10 and a really solid day for him overall. Shu comes home in 7th, a good day for him as well. Justin Kane, another good run for him this week. He finishes in 8th. Alan Gallagher comes home in 9th after a third place run last week. And Fleming with another top 10 rounds out the top 10. Adria comes home 11th, and that's got to be frustrating. After leading on the last restart, connection issues plague him. Ends up coming home 11th. Steve Corsick comes home 12th. Disappointing result for what was a really good day for him. He ends up with a decent finish. Last 2 cars on the lead lap. John Hammond in 13th. Kind of a quiet day for him, but he comes home with a pretty decent finish. Clint McGill in 14th. Behind them, you got lap down cars. Nathan Bentley, Michael Lanfear, it's 15th and 16th. Logan Ikra in 17th. Ron Holmes in 18th. Paul Frediani in the 19th position. Marcus Miller in 20th. Jacob Hopp in 21st. TJ Thomas 22nd. Griffin Williams 23rd. Jeff Mead in 24th. Jessica Bellio in 25th. Derek Preston not turning a lap. He'll be scored in 26th for this race. We will find some people to talk to because there's always guys that want to talk after these. It seems like. So, like I always say after these, I have no idea what's going to happen in any of these. We're going to find out. Just a sec here. Try to get the winner first, obviously. We want to get a word from him after his big win tonight. We'll go grab him real quick. Oh, no. He's live streaming, so I hope he doesn't mind. But we are going to get an interview with him real quick. Hey, Zach, it's the broadcast booth. You got me?
10-4.
About that, man, you got to win. And it's official this time. You're locked in the playoffs. How does it feel?
You know, it feels good. You know, I feel kind of silly because I got really frustrated when I got disconnected or my internet dropped and I went 3 laps down. But now I'm here, you know, there's some crazy wreck on the starts. You know, I don't agree with a lot of the wrecks that are happening, but it was a fun race. Adrian should have won it, you know, or at least battle with the front. You know, he shouldn't. That was bad what happened to Adrian.
Yeah, and you kind of said it there. It was frustrating to see what happened to Adrian, but you pulled through anyway. You really kind of had if not the fastest car out there. So moving on from here, now that you're locked in the playoffs, does it change how you run, or are you just going to put your head down and keep working?
No, I'm just gonna keep running how I always run and try to stay on top of my game and work on my long runs because Adrian is really good on the long runs. And with this new update, you know, just seems like whichever car gets out in front when the tires get worn a bit, that's the leader.
Yeah, well, overall, you end up getting the better there of the last restart. You've got to win. You're locked into playoffs. Best, great job tonight, and best of luck moving on from here.
Thank you, Dawson. It was a fun race. I appreciate you guys doing the league and broadcasting. You know, it makes it you know, maybe that's why I get so frustrated because, you know, I try to do really good because I really do enjoy racing here.
Yeah, it's good to have you out there, and you're putting on a show for us so far. And we
You're
definitely
the
hope you
show,
keep doing
Dawson.
that.
It's not me, it's you, baby.
I don't know about that.
All right, thank you. And I will see you guys later.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
As Zach Lima, the winner tonight from Indianapolis. Apparently, I am the show. To disagree? That was his opinion.
You are Big Hickory,
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
not the Big Show.
Gonna,
The Big
gonna
Hickory.
deny that. I'm not gonna deny that. Second place finisher, we're gonna go grab him real quick. Tyler Bentley. We got him. Hey, Tyler, broadcast booth, you got me?
Yes, sir.
Well, what looked like it was going to start off as pretty much a disaster. You didn't even make the grid. You come home with a second place finish, and overall, it's a really good day for you. So, I mean, take us through it. I mean, what does it feel like to come home runner up?
Well, Indy, like I said, was up in the air for me, but definitely happy with the second place finish. And the beginning of the race, I don't know what was going on. That is the first time I'd had issues with connecting to a lobby. Because I fell through, and I tried to reconnect 2 or 3 times. It wouldn't let me, and then I completely closed out of everything and reopened it up. And I was at least able to connect and get in to my pit stall while everybody was taking the green flag and not go a lap down or anything. So a shaky start, but I'll take it. I'll take today for sure.
Yeah, and it looks like, obviously, we're going to have to look at points after tonight, but it looks like you might keep your points lead. So, obviously, I believe we go to Bristol next week, and we saw you run really well there last time. I mean, what are your expectations? I mean, you going back to Victory Lane next week?
Well, I'd like to think so. I'm going to give it my best anyways and see how it goes. I love running Bristol, so hopefully everybody can come out next week, have a good run, and I'm excited for it.
And so are we. Great job on a second place finish tonight, and we will definitely see you next week in Bristol.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Second place finisher, Tyler Bentley, I think is going to keep his points lead after tonight, and will keep Bentley Motorsports top of the championship standings. So we'll go next to third place finisher, his teammate, Zach Camella. We typically, for some reason, the last few weeks, I've interrupted Zach every time we go to him. So hopefully, maybe this time he's not. But we're going to find out pretty quickly. Hey, Zach, it's the broadcast booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, man. You didn't interrupt me this time. I appreciate it.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to make sure. You come home third, and for a guy that said you didn't really like the track and, you didn't think you were going to run that fast here this week, how does it feel to come home third?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I still hate this racetrack. Like, brutally hate this racetrack. But you know what? We had a shot to win the race in the very last lap. We ran good all day. I can't give enough credit to Tyler and Nathan and Brady for the race they ran as well to put us in the position we were. We killed pit strategy. We were there. We positioned our fuel just how we wanted to do it, and I honestly don't think it could have went any better than if I had passed Lima on the last lap. But another strong performance out of the 5, and I'm stoked for him after what happened in Vegas.
Yeah, definitely, and it was good to see you guys finish up there again. Looks like you're going to be pretty high in points along with Tyler, so kind of take us through what the expectation is for Bentley Motorsports as a whole. Y'all are running really well so far this season, and where do you go from here?
I mean, it's all a team-first mentality. Obviously, everybody wants to be the champ, but we recognize as 5 guys, Ron Holmes, awesome job today as well. But I'll tell you this right now. We're super confident. Great team effort from everybody. And we look to crown a champion, hopefully, out of the 5 guys that we have on the team. So that's the end goal. As far as anything else is, I'm obviously going to go out and try to win every race like always, but definitely want to get those Bentley guys in victory lane.
Yeah, and definitely, and as long as y'all keep running strong, I have no doubt you'll be able to do that as we go on here in the season. Great job again on the third place run, and we'll talk to you soon.
We'll see you.
Third place finisher, Zach Camella. And really all the Bentley cars running well so far this season, but man, those first two, Tyler and Zach, you can't say enough about them. They run extremely consistent to start the year, almost a third of the way through the regular season, and they are both in the top 5 in the point standings. And there's no reason to think that will change anytime soon, as long as they keep running the way they are. And definitely next week in Bristol with Tyler, it's looking like it's going to be another good Bentley performance as we head on to the short track next week. Our 4th place finisher tonight was Mason Hausman. I'm going to tell you right now, he's not very happy about the way tonight's race went, despite a 4th place finish. I'm going to kind of get into his brain a little bit here about what he was thinking about this race here. Hey, Mason, it's the broadcast booth. You got me?
One sec. Sorry, I'm here.
Okay. All right. Well, you come home 4th, kind of an up and down day for you. You led some laps. You were up front most of the day. Had a fast car, especially on the restarts. Kind of take us through it. How does it feel?
It feels good, but it's kind of like a love-hate thing right now, because that definitely felt like I could have been a little bit higher, but fourth place for a track that I wasn't even there to qualify, and I literally just buying the track this week. I think I did pretty good, but I was just a little upset in the chat. I'm not going to say much because I don't know who was at fault there, but you guys probably saw it, and we'll probably review it later on. But I'll talk to the person that happened to. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty good race.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun race to watch, and ended up being a pretty dramatic race at the end. It's a good points day for you, and that's probably top of your list here. Obviously, you want good points days, try to get yourself positioned for the playoffs. So where do you go from here? I mean, what are your expectations moving on after a 4th place finish?
I'm really hoping to do pretty good at Bristol next week, and then we got Atlanta after that. Am I right?
Yeah, we got Bristol next week and then Atlanta, I believe.
Okay. I'm really just hoping for a lot of good results. Maybe trying to get a win to lock myself into that playoff position. But right now, I'm just trying to work with the new team, Supreme Motorsports, and trying to make sure they're happy with how my results and all that.
Yeah, well, it's good to see y'all starting to come together, and the results are starting to show themselves, and at the perfect time, it seems. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon enough. Great job again tonight on the 4th place finish. Go enjoy it, and I'm sure we'll talk to you very soon.
Thank you.
4th place finisher, Mason Hausman there. It's kind of the day he needed after a couple of weeks where it looked like he was so close to either getting a win or running really close to the front, and it just kind of fell apart. Not usually his fault. I mean, this kind of stuff happened in the heat of racing. Ended up with a day he didn't want. Today, completely opposite. He ends up with a 4th place finish and a really good run for him overall this week. We're going to go now to... This is going to be a tough interview to do. Obviously, this is going to be a really frustrated guy. We're going to go to Adrian P. Adrian, I talked to him before the race. You knew he was confident. He got the restart he wanted, ended up with a caution with 2 to go, and unfortunately, he comes home in 11th. That's not the day he wanted at all. We're gonna get his opinion on it real quick here. Hey, Adrian, it's the broadcast booth. You got me?
Yep, 10-4.
Man, that was so tough there at the end. I really thought you had the race won if you won the restart, and connection issues obviously plague you now. It's still a good day for you, a really solid points day. So you're going to gain some spots in the point standings, but I mean, how does it? I mean, it's got to feel rough, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, I just feel robbed, honestly. I just really unfortunate for the RRE guys. You know, we've been working hard these past couple of days to get ready for this racetrack, and you know, it sucks I couldn't bring home the win. It sucks. You know, I'm never buying AT&T when I move out. I'll tell you that much. But, I'm super devastated. I really don't know any other emotion I could have right now. You know.
I definitely do not blame you. Going back to your points day, it was really solid, like I said, and obviously as we go forward, I mean, you've shown you've got the speed to compete, even if you're not necessarily coming home with victories every week. It's more about consistency. And you've shown that through your first 2 weeks. So where do you go from here? I mean, what are you aiming for the next couple of weeks?
Well, next week, I am more confident than I was this week because Bristol's my track. So I swear I'm going to win that one. And, just a big shout out to RRE, Rowdy Racing Enterprises. I'm looking forward to next week because I swear I'm going to win that one.
All right. Well, we will be excited to watch you go out there and try to get it done next week. And wow, that's a tough night for you tonight, finish-wise, but obviously you get the points tonight you want. So a good night overall for you, and I'm sure we will talk to you very soon.
10-4. Thank you for the interview, guys.
Wow. That was one of the boldest claims we've heard all season. We were talking about Tyler Bentley next week at Bristol, but man, that's some serious confidence from a guy saying that next week is his track when he's run so well the past 2 weeks. I mean, if he's fast at these 2 tracks, if Bristol is his track, man, wow. We'll see how it goes for him, but that was some serious confidence from him.
Hey, at the end of the day, it's just short track racing next week, so
wow.
We'll see how it goes. The last time we went to Bristol, we saw a couple guys beating doors down both front stretches and in the corner. I expect to probably see the same showing there, so maybe Bristol's not going to be about how fast you are, but how well you can survive the pack.
It might be. And
especially after this week.
I will tell you right now, well, yeah, this week was, despite the kind of chaotic third stage, it kind of made it fun to watch. I mean, it came down less to pit strategy. It kind of split the race into 2. The first half was all green flag pit strategy and where you positioned yourself. And the third stage was just about getting through wrecks, getting good restarts, figuring out where you wanted to be. And then it was gambling on a late restart and some blocks getting thrown, some good restarts, some bold moves. And it comes down to a good restart by Zach Lima, who really, I mean, after what happened at Vegas a couple of weeks ago, you could tell he wanted this one really, really bad, and he gets it done, locks into the playoffs. He's running well in points. I'm going to tell you right now, for you all out there, you do not want to miss next week's race. Bristol is always a ton of fun, but now we've got some guys that are very, very confident heading into what really is one of the toughest tracks on the schedule as we go right from the 2.5 mile, just really like a square oval to a point of Indianapolis to the 1/2 mile beat and bang short track in Bristol. You will want to be right back here to watch them go at it. Same times next week, 8 p.m. on Tuesday and Wednesday for qualifying on Tuesday and the race on Wednesday night. You saw our first Bristol race. You know exactly what I'm talking about, except this time, hey, we're going to ramp it up even more. We're running for points. I think that's all I've got tonight. Yeah, Peyton, you got anything else?
Not very much, Thanks to all of our new subscribers that we've gotten out there, all of our new followers that we've gotten over the past couple of days. We really appreciate your support. Without you, we really couldn't do this stuff. Without our drivers, we really couldn't do this stuff. So we're glad we can put on a show for you guys. Feel sorry for some of the guys out there who maybe didn't have the race that they wanted, but we got a long season ahead. Plenty of more racing, plenty of more action to come to you right here on Full Pedal Jacket. So be sure to stick around, and we're glad to have you here.
And I want to say one quick thing again. Thanks again to our sponsors, especially for tonight's race, D&D Plumbing. We talked about it last night a little bit, but our buddy Clint McGill, who was out there running the 19, he talked about it in his pre-race interview. It's his home track in Indianapolis, and he sponsored this week's race with his workplace there, D&D Plumbing. So big thanks to him and those guys over there at D&D for sponsoring us this week. As always, William Rice and JCB, they've been with us all season. They'll continue to be with us for the remainder of the season, as well as our buddy Supreme Ape. So thanks to all of those guys for sure.
Yeah, be sure if you're out in the Portland, Indiana area, call up D&D Plumbing and HVAC. If you guys need any of that work done, tell them that you got sent from Full Pedal Jacket. They'll treat you real nice there. I give you my word on that. And if you're anywhere in the New England area and need any sort of excavation work, any heavy equipment, be sure to check out JCB Excavation. We love having these guys on board for these races, and for this whole sponsorship of the league as a whole. So we're glad to see you there. SVNS is the group that Supreme Ape is a part of. Be sure to check him up on Instagram. You can just Google Supreme Ape, find him there, as well as the other guys. You'll see across the screen the phone number for D&D Plumbing and HVAC. Be sure to call them and order anything that you need. We're glad to have these guys here, honestly, and we're glad to have you here. I can't say it enough. Without everybody racing in this league and without everybody watching, we wouldn't be here. So we appreciate everything that everybody does here. I personally appreciate everything that Dawson does here, pulling double duty for us. So thank you to everybody.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you to everybody, and especially the drivers. I mean, we would not be here without people on track, and they put on a show for us 4 weeks in a row now, and it will not change as the season goes on. The stakes only get higher from here. Next week, last great Coliseum, Bristol, Tennessee. 250 laps are in store. Till then, I'm joined as always by Peyton Jennings, our league owner. I am Dawson Wise, a.k.a. Big Hickory, and we will see you right back here next week. Have a good night, everybody.